Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you guys for being here, man. Much love. Everybody show some love and support by double tapping your screen to like the stream and show some love, man. Let's get this light on me a little bit more so you can see me. We're going to run it up today, man. Welcome in, Andrew. Jesus loves you too. God is good. Jesus is King, the King of Kings. As we are here today on a Thursday, it's storming outside, but it's still sunny in my mind where I'm feeling blessed all the time. Running like I'm in a line, but I'll be in first place. I'm coming for that throne. I'm taking your place, coming from a place that nobody knows, man. Let's go. Going to the top, man. Ain't nobody stopping. So make sure you guys double tap the screen, run up the likes, hit the subscribe button, join the family. We are on the road to 100,000 subs. So we're out here, man. Much love to everybody, man. We're going to run up some things. UFC fighter Anthony Smith was arrested for domestic violence. 3 felony charges. He apparently got into it with his woman. I don't know the full details, but we're going to get into it, man. And a lot of stuff going on with the Iran war. A lot of stuff going on, man. Nick Fuentes' interview with Hunter Biden was crazy. It's just a lot of stuff. Obviously, I don't think I can watch that. I don't know what I can and can't watch. It should be fair use, but people like to copyright me. So it is what it is. But we're out here, man. We're running it up. We're blessed. And every day is a blessing, man. Every single day. No matter what. No matter what hardships. It's a blessing. So we're going to get going, man. I don't really know what we should start off with, man. I think we're just going to have a chill day. And, yeah, run it up, man. I appreciate you guys again, bro. Like I said, man, like my last video I uploaded, like there's videos you upload and it's like it don't do good numbers. It's like discouraging. And my last video went up like 400 views within overnight, and I was like, damn, okay. So I'm trying my hardest to get more videos uploaded. The last time I recorded was like it messed up all my shit, so yeah. But there was one thing I wanted to show you guys. And this is how police should be, man. Like, honestly, I seen this morning, and I was just like, wow. So let's get into it. So I seen this morning, and it made me feel good, right? Because we're in a state right now where we're starting to be surveilled more. We're starting to have more hate towards authority, and people are starting to hate police. And I was even thinking about making a video of me going to get like donuts or some sort of lunch or snack and bringing it to the police station here. But I seen this video. A lonely man calls 911 to hear someone wish him a happy birthday. Like, how sad is that? How sad is it that someone's so lonely that they want to call someone to wish them a happy birthday? Or 911. Desperate, right? And instead of the cops being like, man, we're going to arrest you for misuse of 911, blah, 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 the police bring him a cake or a muffin with candles in it. And they sing him happy birthday. And I just want to play this. This made me happy, man.
Chris, I'm Frank.
Glad to meet you.
Israel. How old are you today? It's your birthday?
25.
Is it your birthday?
Yes, sir.
You're not just making that up. Let me see. We tried to light you candles, man, but the wind blew them out for you. But are you allergic to nuts?
Hell no.
All right, we got you
get
again.
your lighter in my pocket.
We got a lighter. It's just windy. Can we come inside with you?
Yeah, come in the quarter.
Yeah, can we come in the quarter?
You want to point to call it.
We're not gonna wake your neighbors, are we? All right, man, Chris.
Oh my God.
Hey, we're happy that you're 25. That's a big number.
How old is?
Huh?
How old are you?
Oh, we're old, man. We're about 40. He's a little younger than me.
I'm about to be 30.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. There you go, brother. You want to blow him out? Make a wish. There you go.
You got it, boss.
Hey, we wish you the best birthday, okay?
All right.
You gonna
Thank
be all right?
so much.
You
Yeah.
gonna be all right? You good? You
Yeah,
sure?
great.
You need anything else?
Nothing.
All right.
This is more than I can ask for.
All right. Don't need it all in one sitting. All right. Take it easy, brother. God bless you. Happy birthday.
Obviously, this guy has something wrong with him, right? He's like some sort of mental needs, but I digress. For them officers to go out and buy a muffin or a cupcake, whatever, and put candles in it and be so thoughtful and go to his house, you know, you can tell that this meant the need, or this meant a lot to him. And the cops didn't have to do that. And so for them to go and take the time to do this and sing happy birthday to him, it meant so much to him. He said, this is more than I need. And it damn near choked me up this morning. Because we only see the bad. We only see the bad. That's what people want to see. People want to see, why is this police department terrible? They always say one bad apple ruins the bunch. But I don't think so. That bad apple just needs to be taken away from the bunch. And God bless these officers. God bless this guy. It made me happy to see this, because it shows that we still have kindness and goodness in this world, and there's people who are passionate and caring. And it made this guy's day, man. I wanted to show it. Made me feel good, man. It really made me happy to see it, because, you know, this guy was so lonely, he called 911, and he ended up getting a birthday, happy birthday sang to him and all this other stuff by police officers. Made his day, man. And that's just awesome. So I wanted to go ahead and go over that and stuff, but I don't know what to watch, to be real with you guys. I mean, I'm so sick of the Iran war shit and fucking this and that and this and that. So, ma'am, Donnie's thought of free food worked until supermarkets collapsed. How is New York doing with supermarkets and shit? Oh wait, I forgot to do something. Hold on 1 second, guys. But I hope everybody's having a blessed day, man. Hopefully I'm not shadow banned. God, yesterday or day before yesterday, I was just having a rough day, man. I really miss my son. Found a bunch of old pictures of him and really miss him. I gotta go grab something quick. Watch your paws, bro. I don't want to run over your paws. All right, bro. My hair is all crazy. I just took a shower. I've been hearing about this for the longest time, bro. Like, I've been hearing about this Jared Leto guy for a long time. It's been known that he's been going out and, you know, talking to girls and all this other stuff. And underage girls and, like, does weird shit. Like, he's a weird guy, like a cult type guy. Isn't he? Let's see. So yeah, I mean, this is all about sexual assault essay, right here. Let's see, bro. Let's see what the Vegas thing says. Vegas, you don't want to play around either, because Vegas don't play. Assault never reported. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Las Vegas police say they have no sexual assault case. Oops. What the fuck? Bruh. Really? Are we good now? All right. Las Vegas police say they have no sexual assault report or SA report involving Jared Leto, following a new BBC documentary featuring a woman who alleges the actor SA'd her in the city when she was 17. Okay, a spokesperson for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department tells TMZ, quote, there have been no SA reports filed against the individual in the Las Vegas Police Department's jurisdiction. In the Vegas allegation, a woman claims that Leto SA'd her inside a motel bathroom after they met in a local store in 2002. Okay, this is a while back. As we reported, 4 women accused Leto of SA or threatening SA when they were teenagers. The claims were alleged to have he had encountered them when they were 17 years old in California, an alleged threat against a 19-year-old in London, and an accusation that he groomed a girl through sexually explicit phone calls beginning when she was 16. Wood chipper. Right away, bro. Right away. Welcome in, Eric. You boofed too much crack. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. I forgot that I even was like this. My bad. Yeah, the David stuff too is crazy. That's coming out. I mean, holy shit. I mean, all this David stuff come out, like Trap Lore Ross. I completely I completely appreciate him, bro, for doing the due diligence and work he's doing inside the courthouse, taking the notes and coming out and telling us what's going on. I mean, this David case is getting wild. But anyway, so the BBC investigation details allegations tied to Vegas, California, and London between 2002 and 2016. We've reached out to the Los Angeles Police Department, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and London's Metropolitan Police Department to ask whether any reports have been filed or investigations opened involving Leto. So far, no word back. Leto denies ever SAing anyone. Of course he does. Jared Leto, I've never SA'd anyone in my life. Jared is firing back at a woman accusing him of sexual misconduct, flatly denying that he has ever SA'd anybody. Leto tells TMZ, quote, I've never SA'd anyone in my entire life. These claims are absolutely and categorically false. As we reported, 4 women have recently accused the Oscar winner of SAing them or threatening to SA them when they were teenagers. Yeah, we kind of already read all this. Different articles, same shit. So, yeah. The David shit is wild, though, dude. Like, the David stuff is like, oh my god. And Celeste was like a beautiful young girl. It's so sad she got taken out of this world. But like, it's just so crazy what went on, bro, in the court. We should just watch Trap Lord Ross talk about it, because at the end of the day, bro, I'm not going through each article trying to find whatever. And the fact that David and his bodyguard were trying to plan kidnapping her and calling it Operation Sunshine or what, Operation Orgasmic or something. I don't know what the fuck it was. Make sure you guys double tap Screen Man, show some love and support. All right, let's see what he had to say.
So in this video,
I mean, there's so much stuff going on, like, in the celebrity world that's crazy. Like the Krishan Rock situation with Ronnie and her, you know, her dad's alleged baby daddy getting unalived, and she's gonna be arrested for it soon. Like, crazy.
I'm going to be looking at some of the lies and slander that is currently going around about Celeste's family after these David hearings. Now, before I get into it, I just want to let you guys know, okay, I've uploaded the raw notes from day 5 of the hearings to my Patreon on the free section. I'm not charging for this. This isn't something I'm selling. These are on the free section of my Patreon, but I've put them separately from YouTube. There is nothing in there that is wrong or bad. This is just my raw reporting on my raw notes, and some quite cool people on Reddit have actually been transcribing and putting some of these messages together in like a Google Doc over on Reddit, and shout out to them for doing that. Okay, it's very, very interesting. But anyway, separate from that, okay, here is what's going on. So after this, harrowing final day of hearings, we heard some interesting information about what Celeste's family knew about David, and that has led to people completely misquoting, misrepresenting the information that was presented in court. And I was there to hear.
Okay, this is where she's talking to him on the 21st, saying, "Oh my fucking God, I swear to God, I will unalive you." She's in my seat. Dude, he has bad handwriting. I'm gonna have to listen to him talk about that. I mean, dude, can you even read this shit? This looks like Japanese, bro. Come on, dog.
Hear what was said. So I've been seeing posts like this going around. College
Double
Kid,
tap your screen.
Usually quite a good source of news, but basically misrepresenting what was said. It says David and Celeste Reavers' respective parents knew about their relationship. Not true. Not what was said. David attended church with Celeste's family in addition to her parents. Not true. Giving her permission to travel to London with the singer. So we're seeing a lot of these posts going around, and I think it really is kind of damage control time. And really, I think David's defense team were very smart in that they kept the most damning looking stuff to the very end. They then put things together and put things forward in a very sneaky, crafty way to make it seem like the family knew a lot more about what was going on with David. And now the media is having a field day and not focusing on the fact that David basically completely got the floor wiped with him in these preliminary hearings and is now having to face a full-blown trial. So this going around says LAPD reveals Celeste's family knew about their relationship, that was never said, and signed a child's travel consent form allowing her to travel to London with David. That's not entirely true. That's not really what was said in court, and it's a misrepresentation of the facts. Again, LAPD reveals Celeste's family knew about their relationship. That's not what was said. So there's a bunch of stuff going around and a bunch of quite sensational posts going around, particularly in r/Davidiots, which I've made it very clear is completely compromised. And I'm not surprised to see r/Davidiots kind of celebrating this as a win and deflecting everything towards, Celeste's family as being responsible and saying they should be a child endangerment charge. Well, let me tell you exactly what was said in court, and you'll be able to understand why I think that this is just a horrific campaign to...
I'm not gonna lie. I think that Celeste's parents should be held accountable in some way. And I'm not putting it on them, her dying. But what I will put on them is, if my daughter is running away or she's gone like that, and there's certain things going on, it's like you either stay home or I'm calling the cops, or like there's some sort of punishment happening. Like I'll fucking chain you to the couch or something. Like, I don't know, but like you're staying, like you're not going there anymore. And I get it's harder to control as they get older. Like they're just gonna leave, and my kids are 7 and 4, so it's not like I can sit here and like really say what the fuck I would do. But yeah, dude, I would definitely take a yard elephant, bro. I would take, if they made baby elephants and they just stayed babies, I would so have one.
Basically end out the preliminary hearing with some information that's been completely misrepresented to make it seem like in the media that it's the family's fault and this bombshell was dropped on the last day, to really deflect from the fact that David got absolutely and utterly royally demolished in the preliminary hearings, was absolutely just torn to pieces by the evidence that made it very clear that it seems that he likely did murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez and dismember her body and was in an illegal relationship with her for years. Those are the allegations, and I would say that the evidence presented in the preliminary hearing made it very, very clear to anybody with a brain that that's likely what happened. But let me tell you exactly what was said and how crafty the prosecution were when it came to kind of framing the parents, and then I'll show you some of what people are saying, which I think is interesting. So basically, okay, David's defense attorney didn't show any hard evidence for a lot of this, just asked the detective questions that were asked in a very smart way, and you've got to give respect to Blair Burke and the defense team. They were very smart. See, a lot of the time it's like we heard statements and then we were shown specific evidence. But in this, they asked very broad questions in a very smart strategic order to the LAPD detective that was responsible for this case while on the stand. And the order that they asked these questions in made it seem a lot more like the family had an involvement in what was going on. So the first thing they asked in this line of questioning, they said, was David known to Celeste's family? And the detective said yes. Now, that's very broad. David being known to Celeste's family, that doesn't mean they approved of the relationship, doesn't mean they knew of the relationship, doesn't mean that they even knew that David was a grown man, right? As we have found out during the trial, during the hearings, that David was a massive liar, and unfortunately, rest in peace to her, but Celeste was a liar too. There was allegations that Celeste had said that her age was 16, 17, 18, but we saw cold, hard evidence that David had at least been informed in a roundabout way from the body cam footage on February the 17th, 2024, that Celeste was 13, all right? Likely 13. That's not even what they said. They said, oh, I'm pretty sure she's 13. And he acknowledged, he said, oh, people are saying she's 13, but she told me she was 18. And bear in mind, this is amid the context of basically like David having Operation Awesome, a plan with his security guard to come and kidnap her in the middle of the night from her family home, with the help of a security guard in the middle of the night, and giving her bags to basically pack all of her belongings so she can move out the family home. Does that sound like a family that's aware of the relationship and supportive of the relationship, that he's having to come with security in the night and sneak her out of her home to move her away, and then within 2-3 days of that happening, the police are knocking on the door informing him that she's 13 and she's hiding somewhere else? Does that sound like the family knew what was going on or approved of what was going on? No. All they said was David's known to Celeste's family. Now, that's nothing new, because we knew that Celeste's father, once she saw the news about David and the remains being found in his car, he contacted the police saying, I think that might be my daughter. Now, that doesn't mean that Celeste hadn't potentially lied to her parents. That doesn't mean that maybe the parents knew about the relationship and they were doing everything in their power to stop it, but Celeste basically was just constantly giving them the runaround, running away, being kidnapped by David and his security, going missing. The police were coming knocking, looking for her numerous times. So that was a massive misrepresentation. The next question, they said, okay, and they phrased this very well. Now, listen very carefully to the exact words that I'm about to say. Blair asked the detective, after the missing persons report, okay, and there were numerous missing persons reports. They didn't say which one, they didn't say when. Well, no, they did say when, but they basically just said, after the initial missing persons report, Celeste's parents allowed her to live away from home in May 2024 with her aunt in the same city that David lived in. Now, a lot of people have taken that to say, oh, the detective said yes, oh, that means that the parents allowed her to go and live with her boyfriend, who was an adult. They approved of they basically sent her off packing. Well, that's not what was said, was it? What was said was, after that missing persons report, so after they have this problem with her constantly running away, they allowed her to go and live with her aunt in the same city, LA County, that David lived in. That doesn't mean anything, all right? That does not mean anything. I could say that they sent her to live in the same city that Blair Burke lived in. Was she responsible? No, all right? Anyone that lives in... So she wasn't sent to live with David, and they didn't ask the detective, was she allowed by her parents to go and live with David? Because the answer probably would have been no, and there would have been no evidence of that. And bear in mind, when she asks this, when she says, was Celeste was David known to Celeste's family? And the detective says yes. They're not showing any proof of this. No proof. When she said after the missing persons report, was Celeste allowed to go and live away from home with her aunt in the LA County area, in the same city that David lived in, not in David's house, not approved, not allowed, not with express permission to go and live.
But then where's the aunt? Like, the aunt should be put on stand, right? The aunt should be questioned. Like, yo, you know, Celeste came to live with you. Why was she always at David's house?
Live with her adult boyfriend, all right? And they showed no proof. They didn't show proof. They didn't show a permission slip. They didn't show anything to say that she had been allowed to go and live with David, who was an adult, while she was a minor. That's not what was said. So now people are saying, oh, she was sold off. Oh, she was coming back with money. Oh, she was... That's not what was said at all, okay? Now, here's the thing. They did say...
What's
and
crazy,
here's where...
what's crazy is the text messages. The text messages are wild. They would fuck like 10 times a day. Like 6 abort, like just crazy stuff.
Well, you got to focus on what they didn't say, because if they had better evidence, they would have brought it up. They were bringing up the best stuff they possibly could. So they said David was known to Celeste's family. Yes, we already knew that because Celeste's father called the police and said, I think that's my daughter, when he saw the news of a body found in Singer David's trunk. She asked the detective point blank, aunts and cousins knew about the relationship, right? And the detective said yes. So she didn't say the parents knew about the relationship, did she? She said aunts and cousins knew about the relationship. If the parents knew about the relationship, she would have asked, she would have said point blank, did the parents know about the relationship? Blair did not ask that because there was no evidence to that and there would be absolutely no proof of that. She asked specifically about aunts and cousins knowing about the relationship. So it said David was known to Celeste's family, aunts and cousins knew about the relationship. Now, okay, here's the thing. Admittedly, yes, that is bad. She was allowed to go and live with the aunt and the aunt found out about it. I'll keep it real with you. I've got more questions for the aunt than the parents, okay? But again, we're seeing this massive misrepresentation and pointing towards the parents. Now, she went on to ask, David attended church with family, and David would pick up Celeste from the house to take her on dates to the mall. Now, here's the thing. They didn't say David attended church hand in hand with the mother and father. They said David attended church with family, and he would pick up Celeste from the house and go on dates. Now, that is very, very misleading. So they didn't say what family members. They didn't say mum and dad. They didn't say auntie. They didn't say cousin. She could have gone to church one time with her sister and David together. Or Celeste could have gone to church with her whole family and David went separately and gave her a little wink from way over there. We don't know. And it was a very broad and misleading statement, and I think that is now being capitalized on. And the idea that David would pick up Celeste and take her on dates to the mall, they didn't say David would knock on the door with flowers and greet the parents and they would hug him and say, please take our minor daughter to the mall. That's not what was said, right? We know that David would pull up to the house and pick her up because he had Operation Awesome to pull up with his security and kidnap her in the middle of the night. Picking her up from the house and take her to the mall, that could be a kidnapping. Picking her up from the house during the kidnapping without her parents' knowledge could easily apply to that statement. The defense was very smart in the way they asked this. Now, they said that David took Celeste's family to Six Flags. Now, we had seen this report of it was maybe one of Celeste's cousins or a sister had basically been to Six Flags with David and Celeste, and there was talk of like a Build-A-Bear receipt being found. But again, I made it very clear. The way that it was suggested was, he took members of her family to Six Flags. Well, that doesn't say parents, because if David had taken Celeste's parents and her to Six Flags, they would have asked that and they would have said that. We haven't heard once them say, the relationship was known to the parents, all right? Maybe the aunt knew about it. Maybe the aunt didn't know David's age. Maybe the aunt did know David's age. But again, they were very tricky and crafty about the way they asked these questions and the order they asked them in. They then said, Celeste's adult sister was aware of the relationship. Okay, cool. Sister, you might tell your sister about your illicit relationship, but not your parents. Okay, I'm not saying that's okay. Okay, but the sister could have been lied to of aspects too, or maybe the sister knew everything. And then they said the adult sister went to Vegas with them. And the detective countered that and said, well, accompanied, going with them isn't a fair characterization. She was in Vegas at the same time as them in a different hotel, went there in a different car, and they met up at some point. That's all we heard. So again, it's like this idea that's like, the parents sold their daughter to this grown man. Where was that said ever? They didn't even ask the detective if the parents were aware of the relationship. All they said was that they knew they were aware of David. That's it. That's it. She could have said that David was one of her homies. She could have said David's the artist she's the biggest fan of.
All right, man. Whatever about this. I think I'm his friend should have said something to his brother like, dude, if she looks too young, he shouldn't have been hanging out with her. He's a rapper. Can he not acquire hoes? Yeah, I mean, here's my thing, and this might be a controversial take, right? But like Romeo and Juliet laws, I'm not saying like what Celeste and David did was right, but I'm saying like if David's 20 and there's a 17-year-old, I mean, come on, dude, that's a 3-year difference. Like they could have known each other in high school, you know? But like David's diabolical with the whole Celeste situation. But my whole thing is like, dude, like, you know, at the end of the day, you know she's way too young. You've known her since she was 11. Like that's sick shit. But if he's like 20 and the parents of a 17-year-old are like, okay, then I don't like think that's too bad. But like this situation is just insane. But let's talk about the Iran war for a little bit before we get into some body cams. stuff like that. Make sure you guys like the stream. I think I might be shadow banned again, but we'll see. We're just about to get to the time where my algorithm hits, so hopefully we run it up, man. Iran war after Saudi latest. Okay, let's see.
Welcome back to CBS News 24/7 Primetime. I'm Juliette Goodrich. Today, Iran launched a barrage of missiles at American forces in the Middle East. This as the U.S. and Saudi...
Just so you know, guys, if there are people watching me in the horizontal stream, like the TV type stream, just know I'm only looking at the vertical chat, okay? So I'm also doing a vertical stream. So there's two streams running, the horizontal and the vertical. I'm only looking at the vertical chat right now. Make sure you guys double tap the screen and show some love and support.
Strike Tehran-backed militias in Iraq. And then take a look at the aftermath of the airstrikes. Buildings and cars were left destroyed by the U.S. and Saudi strike on Tehran-backed militias in Iraq. At least 20 fighters were killed and 32 others wounded in these overnight strikes. So I want to bring in retired U.S. Navy Vice Admiral Robert Murrett to talk more about this. Robert, thanks for joining us. Was it a risk for Saudi Arabia to join the war?
Yeah, Julia, I would say that it is. They've been largely kept out of things with the...
I just don't get why it would be a risk. Like, why would Saudi Arabia and the UAE and all these other places that, like, have a lot of business with America, we're obviously doing a lot of business with these people, and we have military bases there, why would you not join in? I mean, think about how much control we could have over Iran if all of us made, like, just started joining in with each other and putting belt to ass. Or trying to control the Strait of Hormuz, you know? I just don't understand why it took this long.
Focus on the other Gulf states up until this point and been communicating very regularly with the Iranians.
Especially after all of them were getting hit. I mean, Dubai had gotten hit with multiple strikes. Why would there not be any sort of alliance being formed there?
So between the Saudi Arabia and the Iranians to try to stay above the fray to some degree. That's kind of changed, both in terms of the attacks on the Iranian surrogate forces inside Iraq, but also with their attacks on the Houthis over the past weeks because of concerns that the Saudis have about all their facilities on the Red Sea.
Yeah, so at this point, any signs of diplomacy soon?
Yeah, I think it's a question of degrees, Juliette. There's always diplomacy taking place at some level, whether it's, a really serious diplomacy, such as the ones we've had brokered by the government of Pakistan, and Vice President Vance, for example, participating, or just kind of the day in, day out, lower level communications that exist all the time. I would say diplomacy right now is at a fairly low ebb. And one other comment I would make is we've seen the President of the White House today kind of telegraph that there might be some more American attacks on Iran tonight, which he does periodically, and his language is pretty strong along those lines just today.
You know, when we talk about diplomacy, is there a hard stop on it when things happen, or does it take a long time?
I think, in answer to your question, Juliette, it's a great point. I think this one's going to take a long time. So two things I would mention. The first is there's going to have to be a diplomatic solution of some type. I mean, the Straits of Hormuz, take that for example, there's really no military solution to securing the Strait of Hormuz and having ships move in and out at scale at the numbers like 130 or so a day that existed before the war started in February. So eventually there's going to have to be some kind of diplomatic solution. My own sense is that's going to take quite a while because of how hard-nosed the Iranian diplomatic negotiators are, and also the fact that the hardliners in Tehran, the IRGC and others, seem to be ruling the roost at this point. So I think they're going to push pretty hard for some tough negotiations, and I don't see those being completed anytime very soon.
Yeah, there's just not an on-off switch. All right, Robert Murrett. Robert, thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm getting my other MacBook set up here.
Breaking news into the newsroom. We are hearing from U.S. CENTCOM that U.S. forces have begun launching strikes against Iran. It started at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
I forgot. Let's go over the Candace Owens shit. Bro, this new... Okay, so remember when we were watching the prelims? Hold on, because I'm going to have to record this. Okay, so you guys remember when we were watching the prelims, right? We were watching the prelims of the preliminary trial of, Tyler Robinson's case. And the defense made a effort to say, like, to the police officers, well, did you see his face? No. What about the other camera angles? Well, I didn't review the other camera angles. So the defense was alluding that they had seen other angles of the shooter. And so the video comes out. And is the other angle...
All right, you guys, happy Tuesday. I am sorry that we are running late, but
Does the other angle show anything? No, it still is nothing. A blurry face, can't see nothing, and you especially cannot see a weapon.
promise you it is going to be worth the wait. First and foremost, I always just have to shout out Andrew Colvett because he has got me out here looking like the old woman from the movie The Princess Bride. You guys remember her? Liar! Andrew Colvett, why must we do these things? Why do you tell these massive lies? Because I was also able to confirm with a White House employee that there certainly was a White House meeting on the books for Andrew Colvett, the Chief Marketing Officer, Marina Minez. Also, I have learned, and this is quite unusual because he does not often travel, Chief Operating Officer Justin Strife was scheduled to be there, and their in-house legal counsel. Frank, ladies and gentlemen, why does Andrew lie so easily? Why was it necessary to lie in the first place?
Make sure you guys double tap the screen, man. Show some love and support. I appreciate you guys for being here today. Help propel me into the algorithm. You know your boy gets shadow banned because of his opinions or what we show and what we upload. But it is what it is, man. They ain't gonna stop us. Okay? I'm not right, I'm not left, I'm center. I'm neutral. Okay? I might just turn into a Zionist just so I can get the $7,000 a month.
Place, this meeting scheduled allegedly for the same day/week. Maybe I got the wrong day. That Bibi Netanyahu happens to be in town. Is it a coincidence? It certainly could have been, but a coincidence begins to look and feel like a conspiracy when Andrew Colvett continues to lie so brazenly about everything, pretends that we just have bad sources. Again, why do you lie? And I did tell you that I have a source in your inner circle. You don't believe me, but it's true. Anyway, yesterday, I got a tip from someone, like I said, in the White House who corroborated that. And then today they told me the meeting was suddenly canceled. And suddenly Andrew Colvett emerges from his 25-hour silence and says, I have no meeting at the White House. Sure. Doesn't matter because today is not about Andrew. Today is about something much bigger than that. It's about the liars who lie about everything, which of course includes Andrew Colvett and various people that are associated with Turning Point USA. We have a curious story to tell you about the rookie cop who found Tyler Robinson's gun. That's very interesting. And finally, we're ready to tell the story of how that came about.
Welcome in, Mike.
And you know that 4K zoomed in footage that people were going all crazy and feeling overwhelmed and passing away and falling out in the streets like they had early COVID over? Well, we've actually been sitting on that for a while, and we're going to let you be the judge of what you see and whether you also feel overwhelmed in the same direction. You know, I have a few questions that just sort of linger in the back of my mind. One this morning that I came up with, I was going, for 33 hours, 33 to be exact, 33. There was this manhunt for Charlie Kirk's alleged killers. And the feds, during this manhunt, chose to release an extremely blurry still image of a man in a stairwell. It's very blurry. Why? Why didn't they release the much clearer footage that we eventually saw in court? They had access to that. They didn't say that they needed to do anything to bring that footage up. Why release something grainy if you can release something clearer? Why reduce the quality? Again, that seems to be a theme, that they're just intentionally degrading the quality of footage. And the question is why? Who does that ultimately help? And another question that's on my mind this morning is, why was Zachariah Qureshi initially arrested by local police and feds? And then he was released. That seems like quite a big mistake for them to have made. What did they see? What was captured on camera or otherwise? What evidence did they have? Maybe it was a scent the dog was chasing. I don't know. That the local police decided to go to Zachariah Qureshi's apartment in Provo, whereupon he was then brought in and interrogated by the feds and then released. Are we common sense people supposed to believe that was just bad luck? There was only 2 people that were detained. The first was George Zinn. We know why. Obviously, he said, I did it. It's a good reason to detain someone. I did it. Okay, we're going to detain you. The second was Zachariah Qureshi, and they just let it go. They let the error go. We got no explanation. I think we deserve one. And of all the people, they happened to select this kid who has got a father who's a career military man who owns and operates a military app tied to operations, tied to Fort Huachuca, got a bunch of money from the DOD. I'd just like to know more about that. How was that mistake made? That'd be great if we could follow up on it. Anyway, speaking of military men, last week we played for you an exclusive audio from the only person who managed to capture footage of the alleged gunman on Losi Center rooftop before the sound of the shot goes off, right? He recorded the individual on his iPhone. He then reported what he saw to police dutifully. And he was very clear. He said that the person looked to him like it was professional. Remember that? He said a person with some sort of military tactical training seemed to be dressed in tactical wear. Particularly, he referenced...
Welcome in, everybody that's coming into the stream. We're just starting to hit our algorithm time. Make sure you guys double tap your screens and show some love and support. And make sure you guys hit the subscribe button with notification bell. We are at 11,000 subs. We are on the road to 20,000. Most importantly, 100,000. We're going to get that silver plaque soon. Make sure you guys double tap the screen, get those likes up, help propel me into the algorithm, and say what's up in the motherfucking chat. I love talking to you guys. God bless.
This military crawl that stood out to him as something that requires military training. Okay. And he would know. Strangely, they didn't contact him. They weren't curious for him to testify. The prosecution wasn't interested. The defense, I guess at this stage, was preliminary hearing, was not interested. And also, we never saw any of that sort of footage in court. You're saying he did some military crawl. How's that possible? How's it possible that we didn't see that? Oh, I know how it's possible, because we're dealing with the feds. No worries. We can't rely on the feds. We got that to tell us the truth.
Facts.
And of course, if they did capture him doing that, that wouldn't exactly help their narrative, right? Tyler's supposed to be some scrub kid who woke up one day, actually kind of an academic genius, and just had to take the shot for his lover, even though they never discussed politics. They never discussed Charlie Kirk in particular, and they never discussed LGBTQ issues. This morning, he woke up and he was just like, yeah, I need a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and then I'm going to go do the impossible. But I also told you this early on. I said there are good people in government. There are good people who work all across the local police precincts in Utah, good people in our federal investigation and in our federal bureaus who participated in this investigation initially, who answered the call, who responded on September 10th. There is, in fact, an underground movement for Charlie that has been built over these last 10 months, and it is how we have been able to release so much information, to get so much exclusive information, exclusive footage, exclusive photos to help us string together what actually did take place on that day. And there was something in particular that I will tell you that I've been holding on to since October, in part because I needed to protect my government sources. Obviously, they're in governments. It is risky for them to be communicating with me at all. But more importantly, because I needed to see who the liars are, who lie about everything. I have to wait. I have to see. I didn't know who to trust. I was also grieving. And I was told that the preliminary hearing, they would be forthcoming about anything and everything that they had. I was told that actually by Erica. And I just kept thinking to myself, a military call on a rooftop would be very relevant, right? I told you that's back even when I first had that conversation with my source. He said, yeah, that's what I saw. I thought, well, they obviously can't keep that from the public. They can't just keep gaslighting the public about that information. Well, we have certainly something to show you. Now, before we get into the video, let me just show you where it starts out. Let's just consider where we're at in the narrative. We are told that someone who was wearing skinny jeans, right, decided to essentially crip walk on the gun onto the Losey rooftop. Okay, sounds made up given the jeans that he was wearing, but let's just take that at Fed value. Okay, here are the jeans he's wearing. Tyler's 5'10". The gun is minimum 3 foot 6 inches, fully assembled. We can see his phone in his right pocket. It doesn't pass the sniff test, right? That should come up past Tyler's 5'10" belly, in theory. It's not what I'm seeing, but I digress. Let's just jump back into the narrative as it's been spun to us, because then we know he gets onto the rooftop. And I just am wondering now, how does the gun get out of his skinny jeans at that point? Anybody? Right? Skinny jeans are designed so that the bottom of the jeans are tight, skinnier by the ankle. Did he wiggle it out of the bottom? Or did he pull down his pants real quick on the rooftop and get it out this way? We don't know. But what we do know is that once he hits that rooftop, he is suddenly able to sprint. And this limp that he has in the footage is completely removed. So let's watch that. Okay.
There's no way he has a weapon in those pants, bro.
Now, what happens next is exactly as my source stipulated. Our rooftop guy begins a tactical crawl. It's actually known in the military as a lateral crawl. Let's watch that. There he goes.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely...
And I actually do want to show you side by side so you can actually see a real military man do that alongside this person on the rooftop. Let's bring in that side by side clip. Here we go. That general action right there is known as a lateral crawl. Now, you may have noted, if you're just looking at your eyes, some sort of a flash that just took place, right? We're going to show you that slowed down and just kind of discuss this. We've gone back and forth here. What is that? Is he pulling something out? Is it like a signal mirror? Is it a flag? Was it already on Losey Center? Is it actually something that's in the background that's just catching weird? Is it a car? And we're just thinking that we see this flash, but we're just going to show you that so that it's clear. Back and forth flash there while he's military crawling. Here we go. There, and we're running that back and forth there. Okay, so you now have that. Next up, what you are going to see is that it's going to look as though, as he gets into position,
What's up,
and completes this
Wisconsin?
lateral
Welcome in,
crawl,
bro.
that he thrusts something forward in a way that my brain told me it looked like he was unfolding a gun. Truly, that's what my brain told me. Maybe it's because I had this guy and told me about a fold AR. I don't know. It's not definitive. That's me narrating.
There's a bunch
I'm happy
of
for people
stuff.
to disagree and debate what is seen.
I mean, bro, like from my old 9mm, got my Glock 43X. Welcome in, Beverly. God bless everybody who's just coming into the stream. God bless you guys. Jesus is King. Say it in the chat. Make sure you guys double tap your screen, get those likes up, and show some love and support. If you're watching on the horizontal stream, I am only looking at the other chat on the vertical stream, so come join us in here. Make sure you guys run up the likes on both streams, show some love and support. We're on the road to 20K subs, but most importantly, 100,000. We're trying to get that silver plaque. Make sure you guys like the stream, say what's up in the chat, show some love and support. Welcome in, Stacy. We're just now getting into our algorithm time, so make sure you guys run up the comments, run up the likes, and run up the subscribers, man. Show some love. I appreciate you guys for being in here. Much love, Stacy. Much love, CS, Wisconsin, Beverly, everybody who's in here, man. God bless. Jesus is King.
But let's just watch that portion here. There we go. Something forward. And we can watch that again. Something forward.
Oh, yeah. And like I was saying, bro, like when I have my Glock 43X, they make like these things that you can put them in and it turns into a rifle. Like they're like this big. You put your Glock in there, cock it back, and it's ready to go. And now it's a rifle, short, little, long range SMG, basically. And that could have been what it's used, you know?
But more importantly than what we see here is what we're not going to see here. So remember, this is supposed to be a German 98 Mauser family heirloom gun used during World War I and World War II. That'll effectively take your shoulder out when it's fired. Even the newer models, if you go watch people shooting, they're like, oh, my shoulder. And if you're looking through a scope, as he allegedly was, you might even expect a black eye. You will recall that the guy who recorded the footage specifically told us that he saw no recoil. That's pretty crucial. He just saw the guy get up and run. And that would be, I would argue, or a lawyer in court, that would be impossible for this specific make and model of gun. So let's watch and see if we, with our eyes, can observe some sort of a kickback. And again, I have to apologize. This is not like Benny Johnson 4K footage, but it's at least clear enough here on your screen that you would be able to discern a strong kickback on a gun from somebody who's just laying down taking a shot. So I'm going to let this run. It's about 50 seconds. And you just let me know if at any point you see that before he gets up and breaks into a
Thank you for the thumbs up, Stacy. God bless.
There you go. That's that unfolding again. And by the way, if you are listening to this in audio, this is
Welcome
one of
in,
these episodes that you
Roger.
actually do have to go watch. So you will have to pivot over to YouTube, to Spotify, somewhere that provides the video, because this is not something that we could just produce on an audio podcast
Where's
here,
my-
unfortunately. But this is going to run. We did have to obviously zoom in and push out those
Why is my goal
Fed.
not going?
timestamps. But see here, we have 10 more seconds here. Okay, he is up.
There we go.
Anybody? Anybody see a recoil? I didn't see one, but let's actually put that footage
Sorry.
all together uninterrupted. Here
All
we
right,
go.
let's watch it.
For you guys to watch. Here he comes running.
I'm
on-
sorry, but that just doesn't look like Tyler Robinson. It just doesn't. It looks like a guy who has more build, especially to his legs. Like, you go look at the picture of Tyler Robinson going up the stairs and all that other stuff. This is not him. Like, it just does not look like him.
To the rooftop. What we know
I agree,
definitively is
Roger.
it gets down into what is known
Make sure you guys
as
double tap
a
screen.
lateral military crawl. He begins that crawl over to the right first, and then to the left. We see a quick flash. We are not sure what that flash is. Actually, this looks like, I'm not going to read into it. There's that throw forward. I say fold forward. You can say throw forward, but that's definitely something being flung forward, getting into position. And
And it looks like the towel. Like when that gets thrown forward, like That's like what he was carrying when he jumped off the roof, but he never had a weapon, so I don't get it.
For what we expect to be some sort of a kickback. Must have been when our source began recording from the side of a Pelosi building and said, "Oh, I just saw someone get up there. He's got a gun."
I'm so sorry, you guys. You guys are gonna be mad at me, but I forgot to press record on my other shit. So give me 1 second, okay? Oops. All right, so we're gonna go over the Tyler Robinson footage. Apparently, Tyler Robinson going on the roof of the Losey Center and apparently taking his shot. But again, like they said, it's not like they said when they said it's 4K and you can see his face and blah, 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 blah. It's not like that. These motherfuckers just keep lying. Candace Owens is getting into it. We're going to react to it. Let's go.
Pretty crucial. He just saw the guy get up and run. And that would be, I would argue, or a lawyer in court, that would be impossible for this specific naked model of gun. So let's watch and see if we, with our eyes, can observe some sort of a kickback. And again, I have to apologize.
I know. And if the prosecution prosecutes him with this, I am going to be like shocked, because it's like you cannot see his face. You can't see his face. There is no clear footage of anything. So I just don't understand how they're gonna twist it. I mean, dude, it's a black dot running across the roof.
This is not like Benny Johnson 4K footage, but it's at least clear enough here on your screen that you would be able to discern a strong kickback on a gun from somebody who's just laying down taking a shot. So I'm gonna let this run. It's about 50 seconds, and you just let me know if at any point you see that before he gets up and breaks into a sprint. Take a look. There you go. That's that unfolding again. And by the way, if you are listening to this in audio, this is one of these episodes that you actually do have to go watch. So you will have to pivot over to YouTube, to Spotify, somewhere that provides the video, because this is not something that we could just produce on an audio podcast here, unfortunately. But this is going to run. We did have to obviously zoom in and push out those fed timestamps, but see here, we have 10 more seconds here. Okay, he is up.
Where's the gun?
Anybody? Anybody see a recoil? I didn't see one, but let's actually put that footage all together uninterrupted. Here we go for you guys to watch.
Guys, you need to run those likes up. We're one away from 10, man. Run the likes up.
What we know definitively is he gets down into what is known as a lateral military crawl. He begins that crawl over to the right first, and then to the left. We see a quick flash. We're not sure what that flash is.
Watch it. Like when you're watching him crawl, you can see only like where. Tell me right now. Where's the weapon? There is no weapon here.
Lateral.
You see both of his arms. Period. Let's slow it down.
Military crawl. He begins that crawl over to the right first, and then to the left.
Right. There's his legs, 2 legs.
Left.
Other arm here, 1 arm here.
Flash. We are not sure what that flash.
You don't see a butt of a gun, a stock of a gun. You don't see anything. You don't see the barrel. There's nothing here. His back is facing the camera. Is it? It's not. How is it in front of him?
Actually, this looks like. Oh, I'm not gonna read into it. There's that.
Boy went spread eagle.
Throw forward. I say fold.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it. We'll slow it down again when we get a little bit further into it.
forward. You can say throw forward, but that's definitely something being flung forward, getting into position. And here we wait for what we expect to be.
Yeah, you don't see his right arm, but think about what would be in his right arm when his body's facing certain directions. You don't see a barrel, you don't see a stock, nothing. That boy was going forward, started going to the side. He laid down a little bit like this, like there's no weapon. I don't see a weapon.
Some sort of a kickback. Must have been when our source began recording from the side of the Pelosi building and said, oh, I just saw someone get up there. He's got a gun.
I just think he was limping the way he was because he hurt his leg, to be real with you.
And he's up. And he's gone.
Where's it at? Look how he got up. Where's the gun? It did just like, is it like a video game and it just disappears when he's done shooting? Okay, unequipped. And it just goes in his little bag or what? What, like what?
And
nothing. He just pushed himself up and got up. Boy, what? Where's the gun? Where is it? Oh, both of his arms. I seen it. This arm's here. This arm's here.
And he's up.
No gun. Yeah, I agree. Right? I think that, you know, a couple other things are in his inventory too. He must have took the furry mask off and whatnot, put it in his inventory, and he equipped the sniper. You know.
And he's gone.
The only thing I can agree with in this picture is if he had got up and immediately folded it, if it was a different type of gun. That's the only argument you could have here as well. He didn't have a 30-06. He had a different type of weapon. Different type of, you know. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Unless it, you know. Because, like I said, they make those weapons you can put a Glock in, and they're like short rifles, or they make those foldable ARs or foldable AR pistols even. I don't know. You guys are more gun experts out there than me. I'm not a gun expert, but you don't see nothing on him or with him when he gets up. He ran up there. He hit inventory. He equipped the sniper, laid down, took the shot, unequipped, got up and ran. That's going to be, you know, that's just what he did, bro. Straight, you know, Call of Duty.
What do you guys think? I should just jump into this chat and see. Where are my gun experts? What do you guys think? Something feels not right. Something doesn't feel right. That feels to me
of what, Spudnik?
Like what the witness said. That person looks like they've got training.
Make sure you guys double tap the screen, man.
It's not giving Tyler Robinson to me. But what do I know? I'm not an expert. Like that just feels. And then he's gonna jump off of the rooftop like Spider-Man, uninjured, and he's gonna run off, and he's just gonna be hungry, more hungry. Beyond like did Chick-fil-A do that? What did he order at Chick-fil-A? You guys let me know what you think. But we're not done. As I told you guys a while ago about this.
What do you guys think he ordered at Chick-fil-A?
Non-smoking gun. Let's revisit what I told you. This non-smoking gun, by the way, which, as we saw in the preliminary hearing, it had dust in the barrel indicating non-usage, which featured Tyler Robinson's fingerprints, which, if you need reminding, were described as the most degraded prints. Yep. Per the ATF testimony, among all the prints, his were the most degraded amongst 5 other sets of prints on this gun. How is that possible? How is that possible unless somebody planted his gun? Now, we told you the story of how this gun was located. And
dude, just listening to it, dude, this is just so sloppy, bro. Like this setup, alleged setup, this, you know, it's just so sloppy. I mean, oh my God, dude. I mean, you couldn't even get his prints on the weapon. You know, they probably didn't think that through. Do you not know science? You not know that they can go see that? Like, his prints are the most degraded. And there's dust in the barrel. Like, oh my God, dude. I just can't, dude. Like, they didn't expect the ATF to know that type of shit. And they come out in court and say, yep, his prints were the most degraded. And whatever. Lance Twiggs's prints were on him, and everybody else's prints were on, but his were the most degraded, indicating he touched it a long time ago. No one touched it. I mean, people touched it after him. It's just like, oh my God, dude. So sloppy, dude. It's crazy to watch.
I want to clarify it because I think there's been some confusion online. People who are going, no, the canines were brought down into the amphitheater, and we can see that the bomb dogs were there. Let me clarify what I said in the beginning. Dogs, there were bomb dogs that were brought, there were canines that were brought, then there's just like the canine unit, which has bomb dogs, and you don't know what level of training certain dogs have. The dogs that were brought to Losi Center, right, where the person jumped off, were given a scent to go chase. So let's say I give them Candace's shirt, and I say, go find Candace now. They were allowed to run amok near the amphitheater looking for Candace. But of course, if that person wasn't down there, that's a wild goose chase. That's a wild goose chase. And these are unbelievably trained dogs. They're not going to say, hey, I don't smell Candace, but I do smell some lasagna. It's like these dogs were sent to go chase a scent. Now, I told you that the other dog, there were actually two dogs, were actually looking for explosives. They are the ones that went near the field where the gun was actually found and came up empty. And until these rookie officers.
Yeah, all those body cam videos we watch, man, and those dogs, we're going to run the canine. I've always said, dude, I don't trust the whole dog thing, but they hit every time, bro. Whatever.
The feds get there and they tell the rookie officers to have another search, and lo and behold, the rookie officers find the gun. That bomb dog's name, so I believe Loki, people found online, Loki, who was near the amphitheater, was given the scent. That bomb dog, who was not given a scent and was searching the field, I am told that is Freya. That's her name. I like these Nordic names. You've got Loki, and then you've got Freya up by the field. Freya was the bomb dog, I am told. She's the one who had a broken nose that day. It just wasn't working. And that's lucky for Tyler Robinson, because didn't he totally and legitimately just happen to text that was one of his concerns for Lance? Actually, it was one of his hopes to Lance. The text is really amazing. We should read it. Tyler Robinson wrote, when I checked the area about 3 hours ago, there was an officer with a canine walking nearby the area.
God damn it.
I'm hoping
Sorry,
that
guys.
pooch has a bad sniffer. That's what the Gen Z kids are saying that day, hoping the pooches have bad sniffers. Sounds like someone's new to the English language, but Tyler's very formal. And yeah, it turns out Freya the bomb, lucky him, was the pooch who had a bad sniffer. Actually, let me say allegedly here, because we know with my luck, I'll be the first person to be sued first by a sitting president of a foreign nation, and then like a literal female dog at the same time. The dog will be like, you said I had a bad sniffer, and Trump will root the lawsuit on Truth Social. I hope Freya bankrupts you. Real America first stuff, Trump. But I digress back to our storyline. Freya just allegedly could not sniff this recently fired weapon out in the field. And so the feds got there, and one of the feds instructed these two rookie cops who literally were brand new and said, just go look again where Freya had failed. And lo and behold, a gun. Who were those rookie cops? Might be relevant. I've been given two names. I've had these names for a long time. And one of them had only just graduated from UVU. I'm not kidding. Talk about beginner's luck. I'm told Mitchell Curtis of Pleasant Grove Police, 2025 graduate, very young buck. He finds this gun in UVU's backyard. He deserves a promotion. But you know, the most interesting thing about Mitchell Curtis is not actually his background, it's his father's. Because I was told his dad's a Fed. I said, what? No way. What are the chances?
What?
And it was really actually challenging to determine who his father was. But by golly, we were able to do it thanks to the help of some sleuths. His father's name is Foster Curtis. Foster lives in Virginia. Foster spent 21 years with NCIS, starting as a special agent and working his way up the ladder, ending up as the division chief in the Office of Inspector General. Now, in case you don't know what NCIS is, yes, it's like the TV show. It's like the TV show. It stands for the Naval Criminal Investigative Services. NCIS agents are armed federal law enforcement investigators who frequently coordinate with other U.S. government agencies. They have a presence in more than 41 countries and on U.S. Navy vessels. Big deal. One half of their personnel are civilians. They are tasked primarily, the NCIS, with investigating major criminal activities that involve the Navy and the Marine Corps. So, for example, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you thought there was an assassination which may have been plotted and planned and executed by our military. This would be the office that would be in charge of that investigation. 21 years, Foster, chief at the top. Then the strange thing happened on June 2nd, 2025. Foster Curtis, after 21 years, decided to leave his position as a division chief and to be Richmond, Virginia's interim inspector general. So he goes local. After a long federal career, he goes local. Richmond, Virginia just fires the inspector general who was there, James Osuna, who had been in that position for 6 years. It was actually very controversial. They didn't understand why this was happening. Again, this is in June 2025. The local news was going, what happened here? They were told, quote, no comments will be made on personnel matters. And NDAs were signed. Unusually, the local news noted this is unusual. Never seen this before. So remarkably, guys, we can, that spreadsheet, the tree of brand new that just keeps growing. We can now add Mitch and Foster. Foster, his dad, being the first one that we can say the demotion was brand new. 21 slots.
Damn, Candace made a fucking... Damn. Candace made a PowerPoint about the police station now? That's crazy, man. I still have the last PowerPoint to say, man. She goes in, bro. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I like how she presents it. Good research.
Out years working for the feds. And then you just get this, like, I would say it's a demotion.
Good tips, too.
You kind of want to work for I imagine the pay's better for the federal government. And
make sure you guys double tap the screen.
A couple of months later, his son finds this gun. It's incredible. It's all just so amazing how many new faces we had, so many things that were changed, people brought in Utah, and the luck of all of these new people. Biggest assassination since JFK. So, just I guess congratulations are in order. To the rookie cop and everybody involved. Yeah. Anyway, we should take a brief break before I tell you something else that kind of surprised me about the NCIS.
All right, guys. Well, it's looking like the footage is pretty wild. We all see it. We all know the motherfucking gun ain't there, bro. And that's allegedly Tyler Robinson. I'm sorry, bro, but slowing it... I mean, it's not even good quality, and it's for a reason, obviously, allegedly. But, like... even just going through it, like, on here with my motherfucking lookers on, zooming in and sitting there and slowing it down, there's no way he has that rifle with him. And he goes and does that crawl on that shitty camera quality that I seen him through, and him do it. You don't see nothing. There's just no way he did that, and the way he laid down so quick, the way he got up so quick. I could see there's a frame in there where you can see both arms come out freely. So I don't see him grab onto anything. Like, that's just my opinion. Go back and watch it on the stream. I do have it on the horizontal stream as well. Go back and watch it when I slow it down. You can see the frame where both of his arms come out. So that's just my opinion, dude. At the end of the day, hopefully we catch the right guy, because allegedly we haven't. So I just really don't believe he had the weapon up there at all. Sorry, guys, I had to end that video I was recording. That I'm gonna edit and upload. We on the grind, guys, so stick with me.
All right, you guys, do you feel like you're working harder than ever but still falling behind every month? Between grocery prices, bills, and credit card debt growing, it can feel impossible to get ahead.
Look at these bots coming in. Lol, LMAO, you can really tell it's him in the parking garage. Yeah, okay. I'm not disputing he was there that day, okay? I'm aware he was there. He talked to a person from TPUSA. What I'm saying is that in that video, I don't see a gun. So all you bots that are going to come in here and say something, don't care.
Minimum payments aren't designed to get you out of debt. They're designed to keep you stuck. PDS debt. First month subscription. People in the comments noting like, they didn't see a muzzle flash. They didn't see a...
It was storming this morning in Wisconsin. I actually have a video. It was, the thunder was so loud, dude. It was when I was dropping my kids off to summer school, and yeah, it's crazy. But it's not too bad right now, but kind of.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know guns.
We always get like the edge of a storm. I wish we get a good storm, not a tornado, but a really good storm. I love it when it storms.
I don't.
This morning we walked outside and it was all humid and it was sprinkling, and Elia, my daughter's like, "Daddy, it stinks out here. It smells kind of good," and she was like. I was like, yeah, it stinks. And she was like, yeah, it kind of smells like fish in a cooler. Like when we go fishing and, we come home and open the cooler. And I was like, yeah, it does. You're very smart. It was so funny. So funny.
No guns like these other people, but everything was just a little different. And I don't know. That's the Fed slop narrative. I don't know. Where you should feel overwhelmed by the evidence.
Well, I don't know if you're a bot or not, bro. If you're not, cool. And at the end of the day, we can disagree on that, but we can still get along, bro. Much love to you. Jesus is king. But I'm just saying I don't see it on him, and that's my opinion. Other people are entitled to their opinion, and a lot of the time, especially, I don't know if I'm shadow banned right now. It's looking like I am. Hopefully I'm not, but I get shadow banned every other damn week. But no, sometimes when I say stuff on stream, bots will come in and flood the chat, or like if I'm covering certain things.
Tyler Robinson did this. Are you, or is everybody okay? I'm just expecting people right now to just be submerged and going, oh, this is definitely Tyler Robinson. We're just going to have to learn also where he learned military tactical moves and just what he ordered at Chick-fil-A. That will haunt me for the rest of my life. I think it was their spicy chicken sandwich. I like the spicy chicken. Something turned him into that. Now back to the NCIS, because I got to be honest, I was thinking in my head, like, wow, these people, I guess that's why it probably has this very popular long-running show. It's a pretty powerful investigative unit, federal unit. I didn't realize they were present in that many countries. They had used plainclothes civilians. I wasn't sure actually who the NCIS reports to directly. I'm thinking, is it like Pete Hegseth? I look it up and it's actually, the Secretary of Navy. So I was wondering,
thank you, Stacey.
in
Much love to you.
2025, when this was going on, who was the Secretary of the Navy? And it turns out that Trump appointed a guy with literally zero military experience into that position. Crucial position. The Secretary of the Navy having zero military background or experience is just on its face wild. So he appoints this guy, John C. Phelan, and his whole background is in banking. Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, then runs his own shop. And I'm just confused, like, why would Trump do this? What qualifies him? Well, it's Trump. He likes money, right? So John, he's extraordinarily wealthy on top of everything, but also, crucially, he helped Trump raise a ton of money ahead of his second term by hosting this private fundraiser for Trump in Aspen, which featured billionaire guests like Steve Wynn in attendance, and they all sort of cut Trump these big checks. So this is sort of how DC works, right? You get me into office. When I get into office, I'm going to do you a solid and appoint you into a position which people at the time said he's not qualified for. Anyway, I just was kind of going through his Wikipedia, so no deep research here by any means. But I did see, it just jumped out at me, was this bizarre sub-tab regarding Jeffrey Epstein. I kid you not. I can't. I gotta shave my head. Like I'm feeling like Britney 2007. It can't always just be like this random Epstein thing. Anyways, let's pull it up together because I can't make this stuff up, right? And here's what it tells us. Hopefully I can read this. My vision always gets super bad when I'm pregnant. It gets worse as I get pregnant. But like you can see that tab, relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, just a tab I never want. On Wikipedia, you guys say a lot of mean stuff about me, but thank you. Like, you can miss me with this tab.
Hope your coffee's good.
So it says passenger manifests that were released as part of the Epstein files indicate that Phelan flew twice on the plane of Jeffrey Epstein several months before Epstein's first arrest on sex charges. The first flight took place on February 27th, 2006, from New York's JFK International Airport to London's Luton Airport. The manifest for the second flight.
Yeah, my town has never had a tornado, right? But there's been some that formed like next to our town or some shit like that. We're lucky because we have a big ass lake, so it breaks up the storm a lot. But yeah, man, I'd shit my pants if there was a tornado outside. There's this one video that came out of North Dakota. It went viral actually on Twitter and stuff. There was a tornado, Ring doorbell camera, caught a tornado behind the house. It was huge, bro. It was like a thick ass tornado behind the house. It was lightning, so like when the lightning went, you could see the whole thing, and it was pretty cool, but it was scary as shit. I was like, oh hell nah, bro.
From London to New York on March 3rd, 2006 indicates that Phelan flew with 12 other passengers, including Epstein, modeling agent and Epstein associate Jean-Luc Brunel. Ah, France, you haunt me. And 6 people whose names are redacted on the version of the manifest that was released in October 2025 by the United States House Committee, the one that Trump fought not to have released. Jean-Luc Brunel, if that's jogging memory, he's the second one who probably didn't kill himself, but did end up hung in a prison. His French disgusting partner who Jeffrey Epstein invested in his modeling business, and Jean-Luc Brunel sent Jeffrey Epstein, I think, is it 8-year-old triplets for his birthday? Maybe they were 10-years-old triplets for his birthday. I mean, really
Hey, double tap your screen, bro. Double tap the screen. Okay? Like the stream, all right? Get those likes up. Say what's up in the chat. Show some love. Just fucking like the stream, all right?
disgusting stuff. And I had told you this Jean-Luc Brunel character also happened to be one of the founders of that firm that was run by Faith Cates. That's the people who worked for Faith.
Where in North Dakota? I haven't seen this. I will show you right now, bro. Give me 1 second. I'll find it in 2 seconds. Dog, don't you ever question me. No, I'm kidding. One sec. It was in like, it started with an H. I know the town started with an H. Can I scroll? What the fuck's going on here? Am I allowed to scroll or what? Bro, my computer be on some shit. Shouldn't have said I could find it quick because now I'm not able to find it. I know it was on, I'm on X. I shouldn't be on X to look for it. It's on Facebook. I'll grab it quick. Come on, fuck. Why is my shit being slow as shit? Bruh. Thank you for the 10 jewels, Stacy. Why is my shit being slow? Like, are we good or what? I gotta take some shit off up here. Welcome in, Eliza. Welcome back. Alright. Right here. Right here. There's this Ring doorbell camera. Is there the video or what? Let's catch the video quick. It looked like it was about to move. Is it gonna move or what? Nope. But yeah, the Ring doorbell camera caught it and I was like, holy shit. This one right here. This is another angle of it. Dude, I would shit my pants, dude. I don't even know if I would be just shit, dude. I mean, what would you do? One of my mom's favorite movies was Twister. And so she would always watch it with me. We gotta watch it again. I love that movie, Twister. But it's like, bro, like, I would not be chasing this shit. I give props to the storm chasers and stuff, you know?
Faith Cates. Remember Erica. They remember Erica Kirk. Well, Erica Franzfay with the suits, involved with the suits. They allege managing modeling apartments. We went out to Erica for a comment, something that I would instantly want to remove myself from and say, no, that's absolutely not true. They are certain it is true.
Yeah, just so you guys know in the chat, I appreciate you guys for being here. Auntie, I see you in here. Eliza, everybody, much love to everybody, man. God bless. Make sure you guys double tap your screens. I appreciate you for being here. Anyone new to the channel, hit subscribe. We're on the road to 20K subs, man.
And we got nothing. We got nothing.
I can't remember the town. It was
Jean-Luc Brunel. I don't know. I just feel like this keeps happening. It just feels to me like this keeps happening. When we look at the state of things in America right now, we know that everything that went sideways with Trump went sideways after he looked us in the eye and pretended the Epstein files were nothing. Are we still talking about the Epstein files? He thought himself a king that could just mandate us to forget it. That was obviously the day that I made it clear I was done. I'm not meeting you halfway, not when it comes to allegations and proven instances of pedophilia. And the fight to push out Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna pulled together, left and right came together and we're like, no, what is in these files? Like, children are being harmed. We have people who are promoting and celebrating people who harm children, protecting people who harm children. We have Bibi Netanyahu in DC right now. And it sickens me. It actually sickens me. And this is a perfect time.
Yeah, and what's sad is like when Thomas Massey was running for president, or not president, but when he was running for whatever he was running for just recently, it was sad that people were saying like, I pray for his safety. Oh, I pray for Thomas Massey's safety and stuff like we have to worry about people who are going against this stuff when they try and get run for these things, or even just speaking out against it, that they're gonna get unalived. Like, that's just the reality we are in today, where we know, and Charlie Kirk is the icing on the cake to everything else, that we have to follow the narrative, and if we don't, then we're gonna be dealt with, whether that's prison, jail, or prison, killing you, whatever, you know. And that's just how it is, and we realize it. And now I feel like there's more and more people fighting against the machine, like Thomas Massey and them, or the people who are doing good. And the thing is we are so infiltrated that it's gonna take more, man. It's gonna take like a whole team effort from a lot more people, and it's just gonna be. Like, I say this all the time on the YouTube channel. I could probably make a compilation of me saying it a million times, but it's really going to be interesting to see where we're at in the next 5 to 10 years. Are people going to step up and wake up, or are people going to just sit by and let the Epstein files be forgotten? And we don't care about what the government's doing about merging our intelligence and military with Israel. We don't care that they're putting flock cameras everywhere and surveilling us constantly. And it's quoted from the guy at Flock saying that expect privacy in your house the moment you leave. You can't expect privacy. Like, what? This is America. People need to step up. Left and right is a illusion. There is no left and right. It's all on the same bird. I always say this, what kind of rhetoric is more dividing than saying, are you on left or are you on right? What kind of shit is more than dividing than trying to cancel out the main religion in our country and get mad at people like Candace for saying Jesus is king and all this other shit? Who's gonna, who's gonna step up with Thomas? Who's gonna do all this? Like, at the end of the day, people need to step up in this government and continue to do what they're doing. But it's really sad that we have to worry about their safety and shit. So,
to discuss the reason that the Iranian propaganda, I don't know if propaganda means it's untrue or just that they're propagating their vision, because it certainly is not untrue, has been going viral. These Lego videos, you've seen the Lego videos on X, you've seen them on Instagram, people are sharing them. And there's a reason why these videos are resonating with Americans, because we feel like we have lost our country so that Trump can protect the elites, particularly Israel, particularly Jeffrey Epstein and his entire network. It seems Trump has completely abandoned and forgotten the American people so long as he can protect the Epstein network. And by any objective metric, these videos that they are creating are fantastic depictions of how people feel. It reminds me of when Trump had an artist that was making paintings about the forgotten American. They tapped into how Americans were feeling in the flyover states. The reason why people put Trump into office, the reason why I backed Trump. Somebody who, of course, we always know he's bombastic, but we thought, oh, it's going to take somebody who's bombastic and somebody who is not institutional, somebody who's on the outside, to stand up and call these things out. Who is Trump now? What is Trump now? What is the Trump family now? No interest in the Charlie Kirk assassination. Why is that? Why is that? I'd like Don Trump Jr. actually has been heading into the courthouse with Erica. He knows guns. I would love a comment from him on that video. What do you think? German Mauser 98. No flash, no kickback. What do you think, Don? Did you see video in 4K? Did you see that video in 4K? The reason why these videos are going viral is because they, like I said, contain this kernel of truth. And that is when art works, so to speak.
No, I truly think we got this, bro. Like when it comes to, I'm talking to you, Johnny, and Wisconsin and stuff. They don't have this. Like, I just, the way God works and the way this happens is we wake up, we pray. Like, there's such a big revival in Christianity right now, and more people being interested in finding, idealists that speak that things that can not persuade them, but help them pursue being a Christian and finding podcast, you know, people are searching for things more to find reason. I mean, hip hop's at an all-time low. All this propaganda shit is over. We realize it now. And so now that it started with going to alternative media. Now you find people like Candace or other people that help you. And I just think that the way God works is, you know, they think they're winning, and they might be up on the scoreboard, but at the end of the day, bro, the way God works is prayer and effort. He's like, it's just, he's gonna make it happen. You know, there's such a big revival, like it's just gonna come back. And I don't think that, you know, it's gonna be like this forever. I mean, maybe, but I just think with the way God works, he don't he don't answer a prayer right away. He plays chess, not checkers. And some of the moves he's making, we might have to wait sometimes. And some of the moves he's making, sometimes it's too fast and we can't handle it, but we deal with it. And at the end of the day, bro, I just feel like with the way people are waking up, Thomas Massey, more people are going to run for office. I just think that it's going to change.
Because you feel it and you go, yeah, this is how we've been betrayed by Trump. And also on its face, it appears like what we've stumbled upon is a global trafficking ring, which spans all across the West. What I've hit on in my Brigitte Macron series. I've been hitting on this, talking about Epstein and MKUltra. It's like all of this kind of seems to be converging. And
make sure you guys double tap the screen, man. I see a lot of you flowing in here. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. We're on the road to 20K, most importantly 100K. Try and get that silver plaque, but hit that like button. Thank you for the floating heart, Stacy. I appreciate you. God bless you.
People are waking up, and this slop that they're trying to feed us, go to war, Iran bad, Israel good, isn't working.
You know, and what's crazy is that, like, I don't promote violence on this channel. I do not want violence to happen, and I'm not trying to say this to incite violence. But what I am saying is that, you know, we always say, well, we can't, you know, what if a revolution starts, blah, blah, blah. And like, they always, like, the way they killed Charlie. They keep taking out people, and if they keep, you know, making us have to worry about our safety, or they keep trying to make these moves, it's only inevitable that we do step up. And, you know, you don't fuck with America, okay? So all the people who are infiltrating our country from you know where, better watch your backs, man. I'm telling you right now. Just kidding.
There was an organic response to these Lego
comedy.
videos.
I'm a comedian.
Because of how we feel left and right, even trying to the left and this, the right, but we're not even taking that slop anymore. So they dropped another video last night, and I thought it couldn't be more timely. And I'm actually going to just let you guys watch this full screen. The Lego video dropped by Iran. Take a look at this.
Your empire is done. You started the war. You thought you would win. Now look at the mess that your country is in. Look at it.
I'm not sure if this is copywritten, so YouTube, do not copyright me, please. Just let me slide on this one. Can you do that?
Was crying, your plan was a bust. The promises made are now turning to dust. Marco Rubio.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Don't lie, like down. Begging for mercy, you're begging for peace while telling your media Iran wants to cease. You sure?
I don't want to get copywritten, so I'm trying to, like,
listen to the crowd. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
This is gonna be us.
Talking about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. You lied about Iran. The Navy is gone. You promised regime change from darkness to dawn. You're dreaming. Your beautiful B2s were flying so high, still shaking inside. You're about to cry. You stood on the stage, looking completely detached, saying, I don't care about voters, it's cash. Did he really say that? Yeah, he did. You care about ballrooms, luxury suites, while American families starve on the streets. Inflation is peaking, the economy's dead, but you worry about Israel instead. The corruption is deep, AIPAC's buying the state. Every politician's got a price on their plate. You're all just puppets dancing for funds, while Iran is standing and holding the guns. You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning.
Damn, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Whoever made this song, bro, you killed it, bro.
Now listen to the crowd. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Don't stop talking about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. You called yourself a king, but you're just a BJ queen. The biggest disaster the White House has seen. Your empire is done, 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 done. party's hot. You go fix your ballroom.
Roger, you're 100% right. We should be promoting joy, love, peace, and patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. I agree, 100%. And that's why on this channel, I always say, man, Jesus is king. This is a community that's a family, bro. I really take this community on my YouTube seriously, dude. I'm not kidding. And people may think I'm just doing it for this or that or whatever, and that's not the case, bro. We need to start building, especially like these, like people get into these, you know, echo chambers and these places in the internet that are so toxic. And I want to create a place that, you know, this YouTube channel is a place where people can come in the chat and don't gotta worry about hate. And and it's just all about love, bro. Like, it's gotta be, you know. I'm not right, I'm not left. I'm neutral, bro. I'm a man on this planet, in this universe, searching for everything everybody else is searching for. And you know, I agree. Like, all this hate and all this evilness right now, because definitely right now it feels like, you know, it's good versus evil. Like, there's such a demonic feeling to certain things, and I feel it all the time when I'm going through this stuff or researching it or whatever. It is just good versus evil, and you can see it everywhere. And so I just think that, you know, truth is the best disinfectant, and love is the best comfort, or the best thing for the world, you know. And that's the only thing that's going to tear these guys apart, is truth and love for the world, man. Love for others, helping others, caring about others, those children that were hurt on Epstein Island, all those women that were hurt, everything.
Stuck in my head all day. I watched it like 12 times. Epstein, 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 louder. It's like that was
I'm
it.
sorry if I'm rambling, guys. You guys know I just smoked earlier, so your boy's a little stoned. My bad.
You're not allowed to talk about Epstein. And
I
I'm
hope
like,
it's not
no,
copyright.
Epstein, like, we're waking up to something bigger here that is happening. And evil has been plotting for a very long time, and we've all been asleep. We've all been playing the games. We are all guilty of this. We are all guilty, left and
I
right,
agree, Roger.
of falling for the slop. And that was the test with the Tyler Robinson case. Immediately, the left did this. It was about transgenderism. Look at the last question that was us. That was it. Charlie was targeted because of his views on transgenderism. No evidence. Just don't look
I
deeper
agree,
than
Wisconsin.
that. Accept this. They murdered Charlie, and then also being interjected with the Christianese slop. Grieving
I like
widow,
this. Oh shit.
pastors and ripped
I like
jeans.
this dry Play-Doh that I got, or that Aubrey got from my aunt. She sent toys over here or whatever for a surprise, and like it dries up and you can make a ball out of it, and it bounces pretty good. Like, it's pretty dope.
Telling you about what's demonic, like a military operation, a military psyop. These mega pastors. We start looking into that. Wow, how many of them have been like reformed pedos? We did that episode looking at the Calvary Chapel Church in particular. You remember a while ago. What is this? Why are they all so gung-ho about Israel? All of them. That's what it is. Sweet nothings. Stay dumb. Keep getting poisoned. Don't you love Trump? You're betraying Trump. You're betraying Charlie by looking into this further. You know, this is what Charlie would want. My Charlie, my Charlie, my Charlie. Yeah. Well, we're awake now, and there is too many of us. There's too many of us, and we're all back channeling and sharing information. So it's like a game of whack-a-mole now. And I do believe Charlie found out something when he looked into his organization and wanted to know where the money was coming from and where it was going to. Established a Doge audit, which, well, the new leader of Turning Point USA obviously canceled. Feels good about it. Yeah, not interested, not as interested, or maybe doesn't obviously possess the intellect that Charlie possessed. What did Charlie find out in his last days? I don't know that we'll find out. I think maybe we will. Anyway, last thing I wanted to show you this was because one of you guys in the comments yesterday commented when I was saying I never know what Erica's saying. It's like watching the Kamala campaign. It's just going in circles. One of you guys wrote this comment. My favorite quote from Erica is when she tells us to be a table. I was like, what? Did that happen? And sure enough, we were able to find.
Yeah, Stacy, I'm just sitting here. I know this one looks like a turd, dude. But I made this one into a ball, and it kind of dried up, and I'm like fidgeting with it. I don't know why.
The clip where she tells people to be a table. It's very funny. Take a look at this.
That means when you're tabling, if your table keeps getting destroyed, become a roving table yourself and go talk to people. Go sit with.
Oh my god, dude! Someone take the microphone away from this bitch, dude. Holy, dude. This woman, someone needs to take the mic away and just say, you're the CEO, but you do not need to speak at events, okay? Just sit there.
People at lunch you don't normally sit with.
Have
Be
someone else
creative
write
with the
your
ways
script.
that you are a chapter leader, because you are a leader. You are not a follower.
Be a roving table, I guess, or whatever. We got to start catching these like we used to with Kamala stuff of just, what did she just say? Because it's just fun. All right, you guys, we'll be right back after a brief break. All right, you guys, let's be honest. On a typical
All
smartphone,
right,
your privacy
we're gonna
is...
go through her other one, bro, real quick, too. Because I didn't watch them.
All right, you guys, happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a good one. And what can we say after yesterday, other than stating definitively that this little clip did not age well at all?
Do you believe that Tyler Robinson murdered your husband?
Yes, I do.
Never understood that confidence, that conviction. After I sat down with her, there was no evidence which indicated that. Now we are all the way at the preliminary hearing. I still don't understand that confidence. And just, I think the internet is with me on this one. Internet, I can say definitively, especially after the exclusive video that we released yesterday, has a lot of questions. It was an incredible, very fun time on X, very fun time to listen to all of the people, the Mockingbirds, attempt to explain away what we can plainly see with our eyes or what we plainly do not see with our own eyes. It's just something to behold. They think they can do it. Well, there's a lot to discuss today because yesterday also, a big thing happened. The prosecution filed a memorandum. And in the memorandum, actually, I'm sorry, Tyler's defense filed a memorandum. They highlighted some injuries that Charlie had in his autopsy. Charlie's heart and his lungs hemorrhaged after a bullet hit him in the neck. And so people online are asking a lot of questions about those injuries. And of course, everyone is going to draw different answers and conclusions. But first, I want to discuss a most important question, whether or not Charlie Kirk is buried. Because an interesting thing happened, apparently, in those days where we saw Erica, after we saw Erica, leaning into his casket. So welcome back to Candace.
Shit.
Yesterday, as expected, the Candace never has any evidence crowd. She is just dreaming. Oh, she's just up on her show every day pretending to dream. They were not having a good evening on social media after our episode. I always love that moment, by the way, when you surprise the flock of mockingbirds. So they kind of struggle to get their talking points in order, looking at each other like, what are we supposed to be saying here? We weren't planning for this. They have no real thoughts of their own, right? So they're just awaiting on their next instructions. And sometimes whoever it is that is instructing them doesn't have them prepared. And in that time frame, in that precious little time frame, that's when they just start to fill the air with general upset and stupidity. They try to attack reality. It's really, like I said, something to behold. They're like literal lost sheep, but they're usually pretty angry, which is why some of them just straight up wanted me arrested. I'm not kidding. This person tweeted, if Candace is not charged for obstruction of jury tampering after releasing footage of allegedly Tyler Robinson killing Charlie to our audience today, that Judge Graff demanded not be shown. She is part of the two-tiered justice system. I'm not going to post it, but the defense argued it not be shown to the public so that Tyler Robinson gets a fair trial. Well, Candace just released it. I don't know how, but people need to go to jail. This is backed up by an account called Lisa Knows. She wrote, Candace has just released footage the judge ordered not to be shown to the public. She's already doxed a witness for the prosecution.
Why do you hate her braids?
And when is she going to be charged with obstruction? This is completely out of hand. She's doing everything she can to destroy this trial. She is absolutely evil. I love the idea that I'm obstructing justice, but they are bringing literal influencers to court and lying. Influencers are going out and lying about what they see inside the courtroom. And of course, that was pretty swiftly community noted, charging me with obstruction of justice. The community note reads, Candace released independently obtained Lozy rooftop footage. Court limits on broadcasting exhibits applied to courtroom media, not third-party commentators. Legal standard for obstruction of justice requires corrupt intent to impede proceedings. I am not trying to impede proceedings. I'm trying to help them along. This is just what happened. I'm not hiding anything. I'm saying share more. Daylight is the best disinfectant. Now, you might be wondering, what did Turning Point USA say, right? That was a pretty big drop yesterday. What about the ever-wise and strategic spokesperson of Turning Point USA, Andrew Colvett? In case you're thinking, well, Andrew Colvett probably did the thing that we would expect him to do, express concern, at least some interest regarding this new footage. People are obviously looking, and their eyes are going, this person looks trained. This person does look tactical.
I agree. It kind of looks like, yeah, never mind.
Well, the speed at which he gets down and you're alleging he fired a shot,
that
can't be some rookie.
Screen.
Surely Andrew Colvett is going to share something and demand a more thorough investigation. Say, thank you, Candace. Demand more questions are answered regarding what happened on September 10th, how Charlie Kirk died. Charlie Kirk, the very man who he owes his entire career in public presence to. But you'd be wrong if you thought that, because here is what Andrew Colvett responded with, a few tweets back to back. It is a person calling my eyes teleprompter eyes, I guess. And Andrew has a list here of words, a list of words that I have mispronounced. Oh, okay. That's what he's doing at 8:49 p.m. after our episode concludes. He's got a list of words that I've mispronounced across 367 plus hours of live podcasting. Here's my list I'm keeping to mock you. Okay, Andrew. I don't know. Pardon my ignorance. But I would say that after attempting to hijack Charlie's legacy, what did I say, posthumously instead of posthumously? People are beginning to understand that Charlie was surrounded by vipers. I would argue that bringing influencers into a courtroom and then instructing those influencers to put on these bizarre, over-the-top dramatic performances, pretending that they encountered a blitzkrieg, is that what I said, of evidence, which has now been roundly debunked, is something worth mocking. And you now find yourself in a bit of a debacle, a kerfluffle made after a kerfluffle. Does that bother you? Oh, we better get to your list. Nobody cares, Andrew. What a sign of being an absolute
I
loser.
got
What, like
mine.
45 years old?
The Zen
Just
Kruger.
scrolling through podcasting, look for mispronounced words. I don't think that's going to help your cause. And speaking of Mockingbird influencers who are worthy of laughing at, by the way, Tim Pool, he obviously just says whatever the state themes are. He just presents state themes. Believe the deep state. Well, he apparently did not comprehend the assignment at all because he rushed in to rescue the narrative after our video was shared with the exact wrong conclusion. It was kind of incredible. A couple people did this, just had no idea, could not comprehend what we were sharing. Effectively, we were saying this person was a decoy and never fired a shot. And Tim Pool tweeted this in response to Alex Jones. He said, "None of that is true. It's just conjecture. Surprisingly, this serves as a counter to the exploding mic claims, though." Nope, Tim Pool. Nope. That's not what happened here. Actually, this now makes people look even deeper into the exploding mic claims. What we did was we ruled out that the person on the roof took a shot. That's
the United States, Mexico, and Canada trade deal. Mr. Zen Kruger, he made.
what Alex Jones was saying. Like, this is crazy. A bunch of people were messaging us, making it very clear this is not possible. You would have seen the gravel kick up if he had shot a 30-06, if he had shot that gun. Here's what would have happened. So we're saying this was another decoy, a person that was told to be on that rooftop, to get on there and to get off. And most people don't even see a gun. I would like to stress that. We have seen no evidence that there was even a gun on the rooftop. Even our source, the person who recorded, in that recording, he doesn't say or show a gun. So we have no evidence. We are trusting that that person had a gun despite never seeing one. I do want to say, of course, we have to mention Paramount Not So Tactical because he is never to be excluded from Mediacy. He chimed in, this is how he was going to rescue the narrative, with a photo of a baby learning to crawl. See? He's like, that military tactic, this proves it's so easy to do, even a baby could do it. It's like a new take on the Geico commercials. So easy, a baby can do it. He actually shared this. He shared a baby, and that's proof that the person was not trained or tactical, that that's just your normal human instinct or whatever. Baby could be a military man. Maybe it was a baby on the rooftop.
I mean, honestly, that crawl, though, is, like, not so crazy. Like, anyone can crawl like that. That's how I crawl. I mean, you know what I mean? You don't... It's not something that's, like, scientifically so insane that you got to crawl this way and that way. Like, nah, bro. Like, anyone can crawl like that.
Absolutely
stay low,
absurd
crawl. I mean, how
and
the fuck
hilarious
else are you
online.
supposed
But
to
I do
crawl?
want to draw your attention to Blake Neff's response because this is later going to be crucial. You know me, always playing a game with these people. Blake Neff was also angry that Alex Jones tweeted and said, we're done with this narrative. The Losey Center rooftop narrative effectively has just been obliterated. And Blake Neff responded to him and said, there are a lot of errors and distortions in this post, Alex. First of all, saying that this footage is, quote, is what, quote, the court will not let the public see, leaves out that it is the defense that demanded that it be kept from the public on the grounds that would prejudice Tyler. Prosecutors repeatedly fought to conceal nothing during the preliminary hearing. He's misrepresenting that. The rifle is not pulled from his pants in this video because there was another rooftop video from another angle that captures that moment. That's where I want to pause. And then he says, and once the rifle is pulled out, he obviously is not going to limp. He would obviously not limp, okay? This is new. This is new. I've never heard this. I've never heard anybody make the claim that there's another angle of a video where we can see him pull the rifle out of his pants. Blake Neff is making that claim, and I just want to put a pin on that, okay? He says, Candace has not released that one. The individual does not look like Tyler Robinson because they literally don't look like anyone at that distance. Oh, wow, where were you when all these influencers were saying it was Tyler Robinson in 4K? Now all of a sudden you're taking our position? And we don't know who that is? That could be literally anybody? He continues, it's the other footage taken from the campus that supports him being there. We have close-up footage of the person who looks enough like Tyler that his own parents identified him as such. There's zero proof his parents did that. We never saw that. That's Blake just narrating. For instance, the footage that also captured a match of Tyler's car arriving on campus, those plates were blurry, the car was blurry. Again, that is Blake making assumptions. Blake's allowed to make assumptions, but we can't. He said recoil from a prone firing position can easily be minimal, but in any case, we know a gun was fired from the spot because a bullet coming from that direction was what killed Charlie, as confirmed in the medical examiner's report. Please do not keep indulging this, Alex. It is amazing. Turning Point is just so quick to want to shut down any sort of an inquisition into what happened on that day. And I think there's a reason for that, Blake, particularly a reason why you are always so fired up when people start to notice these holes in the narrative. There's a reason why you and Andrew Colvett are always so fired up. Anyway, today on the Beavis and Butthead show, they further explained this logic, and here's what they had to say.
Well, and so just a quick note on that. I did check with people inside the courtroom that day, and they're saying that this clip that was shown, we're about to show it in just a sec, doesn't include I believe, a different angle is what I'm led to believe. At least, again, I didn't see it, but
dude, they're so scrambling. Oh my God, it is crazy. Candace just drops it, and look at her. She's just watching him. Like, yep, scramble, explain it away. Try and find another way to lie. It's so funny watching this guy. He's like, it's just another angle, if I'm led to believe. Like,
there is a portion where you can see him kind of roll over the railing, assemble the weapon. It's a little obscured by the railing, but that's what apparently is happening.
I was asking about that, Andrew, and yeah, that they have basically two angles. Guy goes over railing, and you see him doing something. As you said, it's obscured by the railing, but you can see he's taking some kind of action, which we can deduce is likely pulling the rifle out of his pant leg, making it right.
If you can't see the action, you can't just deduce. Did you just make that fucking word up? No, I'm just kidding. You can't deduce something, and that's just okay for court. No, it needs to be, like, solidly seen in his hand. Oh, he made a move that I can deduce to him pulling out a gun. Dude, take the mic away from him, too.
Ready to go, and then there's, like, a brief blind spot after that, and then it's the video we see the guy running across the roof, taking a prone position, and at the exact moment where we know the shooting occurred, a second later, gets up, runs away. And
Okay, so now we have some separation. So they're saying we didn't see the footage, but you can trust that people who were in the courtroom and saw the footage, the same ones who lied to you, and we didn't clock them on those lies. We platformed them as they said that it was in 4K and it was Tyler Robinson. You can trust that they said there's another angle, and in that angle you can kind of deduce. I didn't know we were allowed to do this. You guys tell us if you don't have the evidence in 4K, how dare you speculate? But apparently they can deduce that in this footage that they don't know, but someone in the courtroom told them does exist. You can see him deduce that he puts together the gun and takes it out of his pants. That doesn't sound too specific. I feel like if I had deduced on my show, you guys would be pretty angry. You'd be like, did you dream it, Candace? Did you dream it? Did you astral project, as Andrew tweeted? We present hard evidence. You deduce through influencers at court. Got it. Seems a little unfair. But I accept the challenge. I will arise to debunk what you are saying. Challenge accepted, because you guys lie about everything. Anyway, switching gears, I would like to actually talk primarily today about Charlie's funeral, Charlie's burial, the Turning Point extreme sensitivity, a new sensitivity, I might add, because as we showed you a couple days ago, actually, if you roll back the tape, they were initially very open about Charlie's body. So to recap, on September 10th, at some point in the early afternoon, I think I have said to you guys in the past that it was Stacey Sheridan, but I've actually been told that it was allegedly Elizabeth McCoy that was recording Erica in Charlie's open casket in Utah. That's September 11th, midday-ish. And then at 5:27 p.m. later that day in Arizona, local time, the local news station, Sky News, reported openly, so we're not breaking this news, that Charlie was headed to Hanson Mortuary in Phoenix. I'm going to show you that clip here.
So if you are just joining us here on streaming, it is 5:27 Phoenix time, about an hour ago. Air Force Two landed at Sky Harbor Airport, which is the Phoenix Metro's main airport here, with the body of Charlie Kirk, his family, and the Vice President.
And as we are giving you a live look here from Sky 12, we can see that motorcade come around the bend here. And clearly you can see the law enforcement has cleared the way for this procession. And it looks like that the white hearse is possibly in the front there. It's kind of hard to see, but, you know, obviously making its way from the freeway to the streets and ending up at Hanson
God.
Mortuary.
Sorry, guys, if I keep moving my
Okay,
back.
so
is
that was
just
reported.
done
They
for.
everyone knew where he was going. They saw what time he landed and that he was heading to Hanson Mortuary in Phoenix. On September 12th, okay, so the day after that, Charlie is back in Phoenix at Hanson Mortuary, and Erica moves to post the footage that Elizabeth actually captured the day before in Utah. She moves to post that footage of her lying over Charlie's open casket onto social media. Again, it is relevant that that footage was actually captured the day before, because if you were paying attention to the local news, you may have wrongly deduced that this footage was taken in Phoenix, but it was not. And I also want to note that that is an open casket that you're seeing in Utah. Fast forwarding to
Dude,
September 20th at around...
I broke my chillum yesterday, bro. No, it was in the middle of the night. Because I woke up at like... It was the night before last. Sorry. I woke up in the middle of the night. I went to go grab it, and it fell on the floor. And just the part where the bowl is broke. I was so mad. Cleaned it up, and then last night I stepped on a piece of glass that made me bleed.
around 11 o'clock a.m.
I'm pissed.
Charlie is no longer
Now I don't have nothing. Now I gotta go get one.
at Hanson. He is now having a Catholic funeral mass that is held at a Catholic church that Charlie regularly attends. And this is in the middle of the day. And so immediately you should be asking yourself, why the change? Why the change? Mass was not hidden from the public. Okay. It obviously was not open to the public, but it was not hidden from the public, as it occurred at the same time as Mass was going on for local parishioners. They observed the hearse. They said exactly what the news was reporting. They observed that. But like I said, it wasn't open to the public. So this was not something they were trying to keep super hush-hush. The question that's relevant here is, why would you go from Hanson to now Catholic?
Yeah,
okay, this represents a total sea change in narrative. Lest we forget, there was an entire Mockingbird campaign which was launched to attack me after I publicly asserted that there were rumblings that Charlie was close to converting, that we were hoping that he would. Catholics were hoping that he would. It was a conversation that was happening even between me and Charlie, like, take the next step, take the next step. And this just set them off. It was something that was a high priority in the immediate aftermath of Charlie's assassination for Turning Point to come out and to clarify. And by clarify, I mean to shut that down. Like, this is not true, okay? It was high priority, so much so that their spokesperson, Andrew Colvett, joined Alex Clark's show and took down that insinuation. And I want you to take a listen so that you remember what was said.
Was he becoming Catholic?
No. But he really loved Catholic Mass. He loved the ritual of it. He loved the beauty of old Catholic churches and the stained glass.
And him and Erica would go sometimes.
Yeah, well, Erica's a cradle Catholic, but she ended up kind of like me. I grew up Catholic in First Communion and went to Catholic high school, but then I ended up becoming a Christian in college through a Protestant church, through a non-denominational kind of more experience. It was actually Presbyterian, and then it was kind of non-denominational. And I think Erica kind of follows that same path. She and I share that.
Also, by the way, I just want to draw attention to, she's posted a photo of her and Charlie and the kids in Mass before, and somebody in the comment section said, "Oh, are you guys converting?" And she said, "No, we just like attending sometimes." So she herself had said no.
They're making it clear. There was no conversion happening. And even though Erica was a cradle Catholic, and they're telling the truth, by the way, we know this. Erica talks about this on podcasts. Erica very much represented herself as non-denominational. She's got tons of pastors. Everyone's saying, "I'm Erica's pastor, I'm Charlie's pastor." But they wanted to shut down the idea that Charlie or Erica was Catholic. And what you should know about that is, I am told that Andrew, this was pre-recorded. And throughout this conversation, you can see little cuts because Andrew was texting with Erica throughout this recording to ensure that he was okay with what he was saying and what he was sharing. So this public messaging had her stamp of approval. And again, to be clear, it was a pre-record, which took place before Charlie's Catholic funeral mass. A day later, after saying this, you moved to have a Catholic funeral mass. Does that make any sense? Just run that back. Does that make sense in your head? Either Erica or Charlie are Catholic. They just liked to go in smells and bells, but they were committed non-denominational and then evangelical for Charlie. So pardon my common sense here. I know that's not allowed. But if you had planned to bury Charlie, who was not a Catholic, according to you, in a Catholic cemetery, why would you not just have him immediately transported to a Catholic funeral home rather than having him moved from Hanson? Moving him suggests that something
Sorry, guys.
went wrong, okay? I've been around. You don't just opt to move dead bodies between funeral homes. You don't go, "Oh, well, we put it in this funeral home, now we're moving to another funeral home," especially if you're choosing to bury someone for religious reasons. Are we allowed to have common sense and say that that's like, yeah, no, that doesn't, something occurred? So here's what happened. We received a tip, and this tip has checked out in a major way. And I'm going to be clear here on what is being alleged and what is not alleged, because some parts I am not alleging. I'm telling you this is what took place. So regarding Hansen.
It was said a long time ago that Charlie's parents had in a Catholic burial or whatever. Like that was we covered that a long time ago. That the burial was secret and they just did a Catholic one because his parents are Catholic, I think.
The person alleged, with proof that I deem to be credible, that the reason that Charlie was brought to Hansen and was ultimately moved was because the company refused to take part in a quote unquote mock burial. Okay, a mock burial. So that you understand why I find this information credible, it's because I read through text messages that were sent to this effect from the people that would have knowledge of this. So I'm going to explain what that is and, or rather, what is meant by.
So what? They did a mock burial and he wasn't buried? I'm thinking if that's the case, then they cremated him so no one can, like, go and, like, do anything or no one can ever look at the body again, you know?
By that term, mock burial in this particular scenario, so there's no confusion. It's considered mock because the deceased is not ultimately going to be buried. Okay, so you can request to have a mock burial.
Because that's what we had when my son died. When my R.I.P. Eli, man. God bless Eli, bro. I miss him so much. We had a mock burial. Just, that for the funeral or whatever, we had like a mock thing. And after he was cremated.
Either before or after a person is cremated. Almost as a celebration. We'd like to have this person in a casket, have a celebration, have a funeral, but this casket is not going to be put into the ground. Actually, we're going to cremate him. So I am told that Hansen declined to participate in a mock burial, so Turning Point USA then had to shop around. And ultimately, they landed upon the Catholic Church because of Erica's very strong ties to the priest. You'll recall just the church in general. If you watched our Bride of Charlie series, we went about Erica's from that area, her background, her high school that she went to. But regarding the priest, to jog your memory, Erica is apparently so close to this priest, despite the fact that she's not Catholic or a participating Catholic, whatever it is Andrew was saying there. But that priest who winds up performing that Catholic funeral mass, she's so close to him that rather than bringing her family members to Utah after she finds out that her husband is shot, after she finds out that her husband is assassinated, rather than flying her family members out there, she coordinated to bring the priest. We then saw him around her, traveling with her at future events. There was that Turning Point event in October, which featured the vice president at Ole Miss on October 29th. The priest was with her. He traveled with her there as well. All of that, in retrospect, is rather extraordinary because Turning Point still maintains to this day that Charlie was not flirting with Catholicism. This is something that Blake Neff said the other day. A bishop said otherwise. So I talked to Charlie. But Blake Neff said, nope, never. Die hard evangelical. So why a Catholic funeral mass if not for the reason that you have a personal relationship with the priest who will grant you a special request that has been refused by others? Not illegal, by the way. I'm not implying that anything that was done was illegal. I'm saying that if this holds true, it means that I will do that for you. I will do what the others are saying that they will not do. It implies that the intention was actually to not have Charlie buried Catholic because he's not Catholic. He did not die Catholic. Now, the next part I'm going to tell you is not speculation, it's a fact. On the day of that Catholic funeral mass, Charlie's casket was closed. It's a fact. Afterward, it was in fact taken to a Catholic cemetery, and close friends and family and high net worth donors gathered around that casket one last time. So you're thinking, oh, this must be when he gets lowered into the ground. No, that did not happen. I can tell you that did not happen. And I am not saying allegedly here. Instead, they were then asked to leave. They did not see Charlie taken to a burial plot. They did not see Charlie lowered into a ground. There was no grave that was dug out. Rather, they were told, you leave and we'll handle the rest. Oh, he's going to be put somewhere unmarked.
Yo, I'm sorry. I had to step out and grab this fucking bug spray real quick and just come spray through all this shit because these flies are pissing me off and I had to just go crash out for a minute and slide on them. So hopefully I don't have a fly crawling on my webcam for a while or he's going to get smoked with this spray. All right. Much love to you guys. My bad. All right. Make sure you guys double tap the screen, show some love and support, homie.
Don't want you guys to be privy to where that's going to be because we are fearful that they could desecrate, that someone could come, like the left could come and desecrate wherever he's buried. His close family and friends were told this. So the people that were in attendance were then shuttled to a luncheon elsewhere. Again, I am presenting that as a fact. No one who attended Charlie's actual funeral on that day can make a counterclaim that they saw him buried. That would be untrue. They would be lying. They were asked to leave. So when I put that together, I am led to believe that it was indeed a mock burial done as a favor by a friend. Again, not illegal. I am led to believe that he was either before or after cremated. And the ceremony was for family and friends, to have a funeral. But ultimately, Charlie was not lowered into the ground on that day. And that is the reason that I believe Erica chose to do a Catholic funeral mass, despite indicating everything to the contrary to the public about Charlie's beliefs, evangelical. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because it would be highly unusual, if that is factual, that he was cremated, and it was a mock burial. It would be highly unusual for someone to seek their spouse's cremation before an investigation into their assassination is concluded. Plain and simple, it would be...
That's what I said, Stoic. That's what I said earlier before you came in.
Run counter to trying to find
Agreed.
answers. And their sensitivity doesn't make sense otherwise. It does not make sense otherwise. What they are selling you is absolute BS, that there is some fear that a leftist trans person is going to come up. Go look up anybody recently who has died. You can find where they've been buried. People that are bigger and more prominent. You can Google where George H.W. Bush, presidents, where is he buried? Go Google where JFK Jr. was buried. You can find that. You can find everywhere where they were buried, where, who's another recent person? John McCain. You can Google that right now. Where is John McCain buried? So you are telling me that all of these high-flying people who were remarkably controversial, people that are at each other's throats all the time, fighting in politics, are capable of being buried publicly, and you can go visit them publicly, and you can go learn and see the moment that their family members were around and when those plots of were dug out. But you're telling me that Charlie Kirk is just, no. We are just so fearful. Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Yeah.
Haven't seen you for a while, Star. Much love.
Can we have one thing? Can we have the truth?
God bless you.
Can we have the truth? Anyway, we'll be right back after a break. All right, you guys, our great nation turned 250 this year. We represent 2.5 centuries of... And I'll also tell you guys that months following this, so that took place in September, months following this, a very, very high-paying donor over at Turning Point USA ran into another set of donors in Europe and relayed the same. She was present at the Catholic funeral mass, and she relayed that Charlie was not buried. So these are not rumors. Those parts I am asserting as fact. Are we to believe he's just been kept above ground this whole time? Or that he was cremated? It makes sense that he was cremated. If you were shopping for a mock burial, there'd be no reason, like I said, to move him from one place to the other. And you guys were not shy about Charlie's body. You are being shy because you're hiding something. You guys have just been lying about a lot. I know too much right now. And we're trying to figure out, obviously, as always, when to present certain things. And sometimes I do want to get ahead of myself. But I am sickened by Turning Point USA. I want to put that on record. I am sickened by them. And the truth is going to come out about everything. So, yeah. I know vengeance does not belong to me, but truth belongs to everybody, and everybody can see what this is and feel what this is, and nobody is being convinced by Andrew Colvett, late night tweeting mispronounced words, or Blake Neff trying to explain to us that the evidence, what we see with our own eyes should not be trusted, but we should believe people inside of the courtroom whose own eyes told them something that has never been shared publicly. It doesn't make sense that they would say these things. Or the screwdriver, what are you talking about? Where is that in the evidence? It doesn't exist. Officer Bagley, it went off. I don't know what happened to my body cam footage right when I found the screwdriver that Blake's obviously referring to. But there's some more footage around the corner or something. It is unbearable waiting. I have to say that. It is something that I have to do, and I am continually practicing this exercise of patience, and I've done a good job. But man, the stuff that I know right now, it burns me. It is positively burning me. It's why, we have been running late, because we're debating of when to drop things, but they're making the mistakes right now, and we have to allow them to continue to make these mistakes. Anyway, yesterday, as I mentioned to you, I think at the top I said prosecution, then defense. It was, in fact, my producer corrected the prosecution that filed a memorandum. And in that memorandum, they highlighted some injuries that Charlie had in his autopsy that the internet is now going, what? And I can just read to you this portion. And they're saying that the bullet, or at least parts of it, sequentially perforated the anterior left side of Mr. Kirk's neck, strap muscles of the left side of the neck, and the left common carotid and left internal and external jugular veins. So corroded artery. We already knew all of this, but we remember that Andrew Colvett particularly told us this next part. It obliterated the left side of C27 vertebrae and transected the cervical spinal cord. So he told us it went in this way, just to make this make sense, hit the back, and then went down his vertebrae, right?
I think it's, Rob, I think it's because they obviously wanted to send a message, right? Like, it was pretty obvious that they wanted to send a message to us, right? Like, you talk against us, you leave us, we're gonna take you out. Like that's how I took it, and allegedly, and I mean, I don't know, dude. I just think they think we're stupid. We have TikTok brain. Oh, they got TikTok brain. They got short attention spans. It's all right. They'll forget about it. They forgot about Epstein. Like I just think that they were sloppy, allegedly, and I agree. It's very sloppy, and they could have just done it anywhere else. But you know, why was JFK assassinated if they could have done it anywhere else? You know what I mean? It's messages to tell us like, hey man, you start doing this. I mean, they knew all this would come out, so they want us to know this. I feel like, you know, because we see what they want us to see. That's my opinion of it. I don't know.
That's how that artery got obliterated, and then it ricocheted downward. And they're saying, okay, that happened, all right. But he also had other injuries that people have questions about, particularly pertaining to hemorrhages in his lungs, which tend to come from blunt force trauma, and hemorrhages. His heart had hemorrhage, and both of his lungs had hemorrhage, and that's what you're seeing at the bottom there. The medical examiner also observed hemorrhaging around Mr. Kirk's heart, both of his lungs, left and right. And so people are taking this one of two ways, okay? Obviously, if we don't know what happened in that car, there are so many stories. I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor here and to understand what can and cannot happen, what you should see if somebody's been shot in the neck, how it would impact their heart and their lungs. You can do a cursory search and determine that your heart and lungs can't hemorrhage if there is no heartbeat. And so this gets into the question of when did his heart stop beating? Because we have Frank Turek, who tells us he realized in those critical minutes that Charlie did not have a pulse. But we have also heard from Erica that, you know, he died instantly. So that's people who are thinking he died instantly and, you know, immediately his heart stopped beating are going to go, okay, well then how was there all this hemorrhaging? But then we've also heard a scenario where they get his heart back going again at the hospital. And if you are, you know, if your heart is going and pumping, of course, there's going to be an opportunity for hemorrhaging to take place. It's one of the things that happens after any.
I think that, like, I'm pretty sure, though, like, if they're doing CPR on him, they're still pumping blood, basically, then, if they're doing CPR on him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know.
Surgery that takes place is that there are concerns for hemorrhaging. So there's no definitive answer here, and no matter what, even if there was a definitive answer, it's going to be debated both ways. There's also a chance that if you look up how this can happen, how you can have hemorrhaging in your lung and hearts, yeah, you will determine that if something strikes you, blunt force trauma to the heart, that is an injury that is commonly sustained. So people are going, that could be the exploding mic. That could be the exploding mic. No, that could be what happens when he gets hit in the neck and he's fighting and spitting up blood. You're going to see everything, but it's going to get interesting. And it's one of these things that I would love to be able to sit down and have a real doctor who's not paid. We've all survived COVID, so I'm not so keen on people in white coats explaining things. We know that industry has also been hijacked by influencers, so to speak, who told us the most absurd things after COVID. Hop on 1 foot, 6 feet social distancing. This is science. We're so naturally distrusting that we're not going to get a clear answer on that, but it would be interesting to know if he had bruising on his chest, things of that nature, I think are going to tell more of a story, because I am a person who does believe that the microphone exploded on him.
Me
and
too.
Now that
100% me too on that. Sorry, I was just loving my Doge over here. I forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck it.
Have fully.
Oh, just like Fauci's court hearings. He's just pleading the fifth. Like what?
Out any chance that the person on Losey shot Charlie in his neck and that this bullet ricocheted downward and he somehow had this Superman steel neck because he ate lettuce and liked salad. I'm looking for a more reasonable explanation. And it is, in my estimation, a way more reasonable explanation that there were decoys, multiple decoys, people that were told to capture those decoys on the roof who was just tasked with really running so that they could say, oh, that's where it happened from. It happened from a Losey Center. I don't think it did. I think that military man was tasked with being an acrobat. That's why he looked professional. That's why he looked tactical. And there is a reason why they don't want to bring in these witnesses in the courtroom, why they haven't even been contacted by the prosecution. It is very obvious to me that Turning Point is not embarking on a mission to find any truth. Anyway, Skylar, you have the clip of the screwdriver clip from the court hearing. Is that what you have? Oh, okay. Yes. from the prosecution who's making that, asserting that same claim, that they can reasonably, I guess, deduce that the defendant used a screwdriver, and they cite the exhibits 12.1 and 12.4 as proof of that.
Damn,
and it's just
Stacey.
not. It's not proof of that. We've never seen that. We have seen no evidence of either a screwdriver or a gun on the rooftop of the Losey building. I want you to realize that, because we're at this late stage where they want us not to believe our own eyes. And that's why they're so angry, is because then when we show you something, we show you a clearer image, your eyes tell you that the narrative doesn't make any sense. And it's going to fall apart. It's already fallen apart. That's why they're so angry at me. But it's going, I can guarantee you it's going to fall apart more, and a lot more questions are going to be asked of Turning Point employees, and why they didn't include certain things when they told stories about what they did that day, and why Blake seems to have this convenient amnesia about certain events that day, and why he continues to exclude Danny Phillip from the equation. Doesn't know he was driving with. It was Danny Phillip. Why can't you say that? There might be reasons for that. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I did want to show you this email that I got in Happier News, because it was very funny when we were mocking Frank Turek reading this email about how I'm destroying a marriage. Well, this is actually a real email of someone who said that I saved their marriage. It made me very happy. This person wrote to us, "Hi, Candace. After watching your episode where Frank Turek read a letter about how you are ruining someone's marriage, I realized that you actually did help in the recovery of my marriage. My husband and I have had a rough few years after I discovered that he had an emotional affair at work. He eventually left that job and cut that person out of his life, but I resented him for what he did to me. Needless to say, we had little to no conversations that would not end in a fight. I was at my lowest around the time when you announced the Brigitte series coming. I watched in shock the intro episode and mentioned it to my husband. He was intrigued, and we started watching your episodes together after the kids went to bed. There were days that we couldn't stand each other, but the curiosity of the newest episode would bring us together at the end of the day to watch your show. There have been plenty of times when we would start watching your episodes, each pouty and hands crossed, so by the end of it, we were back to talking terms and discussing your newest discovery. While grieving my marriage, I shut out a lot of people, including my sister. We had a falling out, and we didn't talk for well over a year, even though we lived close by. At a family gathering, I mentioned your show, and my sister said that she's been watching it as well. It became a neutral topic, which led us to sending each other clips of your show and talking about it. My sister actually encouraged me to write to you and said that she hopes that you read my letter on your show. Also, I wanted to encourage you as you work through your vivid dreams. Before I discovered my husband's affair, I had vivid dreams where I learned the woman's name and that he was having an affair. At the time when I had the dreams, I asked my husband about them, and he denied it all. But recently, he reminded me of those dreams and told me that they were scary, spot on. God sometimes uses dreams to speak to us. For a crowd that believes in the Superman neck, it's insane that they would reject the possibility of revelation through dreams. My husband brought me your Make Him a Sandwich book as a gift. We are in therapy and doing much better than when the Brigitte series was launched. We pray for your protection over you and your family as you fight the good fight. Thank you for all of your work. It's not in vain, and has brought together not just the left and the right, but families too." I'm just really happy to hear that. And it's just because you said, like, my sister hopes that you see it. Well, look, now we're reading it on the show. And the Becoming Brigitte series was, I mean, when I was falling down that rabbit hole, I was going, what on earth is going on in France? Now we're wondering what on earth is happening in America. And I'm very happy for you and your husband, and that you're seeing it through and sticking it through. Regarding the dream point, this is like another one of these things where they mock me. I am so not ashamed of the dreams that I had. I know when I am having a silly dream and when I am having something that is paralyzingly, it feels like it's true. I gave you examples of that when I knew specific details about a friend being pregnant, like what month the baby was going to be born. And it's so funny that the people who want to grift off faith the most are acting like dreams are not very clearly represented in the Bible as messages from God. They can be messages from God. And I know when I had that dream, and I didn't know, but I knew when I had that dream, the fact that I woke up and texted Andrew and I said, "Charlie told me that you betrayed him." When I had that dream, and it took place in Israel, when I told you guys about, and at that time I thought Andrew Kovet was a good guy. And Charlie said he was betrayed, and then I couldn't hear what he was saying, and then I saw Andrew Kovet's face. I knew that was something. And now that we are 10 months into this, why would I doubt my dream? What about that did not, to me, appear to manifest? He's betraying him every single day when he tells lies about who Charlie is, who Charlie was, and what Charlie was going through. And so I just hope that people who spend all of this time going through all of our content to try to embarrass me, I hope you know that I'm just not insecure in that way. I don't have that. Like I'm very aware, and I think it's probably because I listened to too much Kanye West music when I was growing up, but I know that that's kind of the key. That's the entry point. They want you to feel insecure talking about things, and because it allows them to mock you, and then you go, "Oh, I'm not going to say that again." No, I actually had more dreams that I should have shared. I shared with my team, but in the immediate aftermath of Charlie's death, the dreams were so vivid, they were so overpowering that I almost felt like I was being haunted by him, and it was a part of the grieving stage. I wanted them to stop, And I remember talking to my priest because I said, I feel like he must be in purgatory because he feels so near, and I wasn't having these vivid dreams, and they just wouldn't stop. And then there came a point where they did stop, and I don't get the vivid dreams like I did after he died, and I had hoped that meant that he was no longer in purgatory, and that our prayers for him, and I know Catholic people over the world were praying for him, that meant that he moved on. And I have literally no qualms about sharing that at all. I think my dream is right. I think Charlie was betrayed. And I think the rest of the world doesn't need dreams to see that. So take that for what you will. We'll be right back after a break. All right, you guys, Nimi Skin.
Well said, Candace. I'm not going to listen to you go through the comments, though. So, I mean, that is what it is, right? Let's get in some body cams or something and chill for a little bit, man. Yeah, that I'm telling you, that footage is... this court hearing is just what... All this shit's just like, yeah, wild. Girlfriend beat her...
On New Year's Day, 2024.
Girlfriend beat her caught on New Year's in 4K. Hold on, I gotta record this real quick. Because we on the grind. Yo, cat. Chill, homie. Alright? Calm down, fella. You guys need to hit subscribe, man. Hit subscribe. Oh shit, here we go. Look up here, bud. Girlfriend beater gets caught on New Year's Eve, man. Let's get into it. Man.
A little after 5 in the morning, a car sits parked at a BP gas station just outside Detroit, Michigan. A woman suddenly jumps out and runs, with the man from the driver's seat chasing after her around the car.
Oh, he was...
As their argument escalates, he jumps back into the driver's seat while she moves toward the store, before stepping on the gas and driving the car straight at her. She barely escapes into the store, being missed by inches. The suspect exits the vehicle and runs inside after her. Now the victim is in a fight for her life, and moments away from being abducted. That's when the clerk secretly calls 911.
Police fire EMS.
The gas station. They got somebody he beat up the girl in the gas station. Garage at the 9 Mile. You know, beside the police.
Okay, what's going on?
Somebody he beat up the girl.
Beat up a girl?
Yeah, he beat up her in the back like you get outside the police back.
Okay, what kind of car is he in?
He got a blue Camry.
A blue Camry?
Dude, men like this are pieces of shit, bro. Like, straight up. If you are a man out there and you put your hands on a woman like this, you are a whole ass bitch. And you never would do it to him. That's the problem, bro. Like, these men have no self-control, and they just are they wood chipper. Along with the other predators out there, wood chipper. Get this guy in a wood chipper. I don't even want a court hearing, wood chipper. Immediately. Like, you know?
She's taking off. Copy, plate.
Damn,
Edward
bro.
Paul Tom 90.
Damn, that cop, this cop better be on it, bro.
070. Gonna be southbound, Gratiot, coming up to Comfort, speed 70, all traffic, 36 we copy. Still southbound Gratiot, coming up to 8 Mile, speeds 105, through 8 Mile. Speeds 107, no traffic. Copy, it's all green right now. Still southbound, Gratiot, coming up to Linwood. Just disregarded a red light at McNichols. Speeds 110, no traffic.
Holy shit, 110 miles an hour.
Looks like we're gonna be going.
Dude, 110 miles an hour. Imagine if someone came and, like, drove out from one of those side, like, intersections. Oh my god, thank you for the unk alert. Much love. What did I say that's funny? Am I tripping? Let me know, Stacy, if you're talking to me. I don't know, bro. I finished that joint. I don't know what I said. Thank you for the unk though. I am unk age. Which I can't believe.
Speeds 25. Gonna be going southbound Bradford. Westbound Whitehorn. Southbound Dunston, speeds 25. Eastbound Findlay. Speeds 30 and no traffic. Northbound Bradford. Speeds 15. No traffic. Eastbound Woodford. Speeds 40, no traffic. Northbound drifting.
Oh, bro, I feel like I'm 26. I'm about to be 27. I'm uncaged, bro. Like, I feel like I'm uncaged, bro. These young motherfuckers think what else would I be? I'm definitely not YN anymore. I mean, I feel like it starts now. You're still an uncaged. You know, I'm halfway to 52. You gotta understand that shit.
Westbound Findlay. Speeds 30. No traffic. Northbound Devon. Speeds 45. No traffic.
It's like, what's the point of doing this, bro? You whooped your woman's ass at a gas station. You know? And you did all that. You're choking her. She's screaming help. Like, there's such a bitch he is, bro. Everything he did. Gets in the car, starts a high pursuit with the cops. I don't know, bro. People out there are stupid. Like, this guy's just dumb, bro. Like I said, wood chipper.
Just slowing down. Just at a stop sign at Hamburg.
Agent Wright, Wisconsin.
Westbound Burlow.
Having 2 kids, kind of excels in
Westbound McNichols. Speed 16. No traffic. Disregarded the red light at Dunston. Southbound Canberry.
Alright, bro, let's skip forward a little bit here. This guy goes on a huge pursuit.
Southbound Hayes.
Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! You gonna get shot! Son
That cop's
Let
on.
me see your hands! Let me see your hands! You gonna get shot! Stand the ground! Stand the ground!
I didn't think
Back
to
one
do that
custody.
shit.
You gotta do all that? Yeah, you know what? Dumb motherfucker. Stupid. Stupid. You know how many people you could have killed? Killed doing what? Running. Nobody stand up. I'm telling you, ain't got to be. Don't be stupid. Don't do what?
Yo, they just duped this officer for real, dude. That was a homie that hopped out. Was it the back seat that opened, bro? I can't. I thought he was coming from the back of the car.
You ain't got to be. Don't be stupid. Running. Nobody. Go.
God damn it. Oh my god, that was quick. I looked down at the chat. Yeah, that's the back of the car, bro. How'd that cop not notice that?
Let me see your head! Let me see your head!
Barry watched this shit.
Oh, that hoe ass! Okay. For the felony charge. Multiple. Multiple what? Ain't this. That was on me. Where's the cargo? This back. Passenger, I think. What the hoe ass? Car's gone. Get in. I know how much money I got. No, pull my shit in. You pull my shit out. No, you gotta take my. I can't. No, that's my sister right there. I know how much money I got. 120, 123 is going to be about 3 blocks west of your location. I see. We got 2 idiots. Oh, we got your boy. Yeah, whoever took the car. 23 is out with Detroit. What's up, man? Yeah.
This ain't me.
Yeah, it is.
I got assaulted at 8.5. You got
So why'd
me.
you take off when you got
I
out of
didn't
the
take
car?
off. I wasn't driving.
Right. So why'd you take the car after we
I
after
was
he
going
bailed
back
out?
to my mama's house. What you mean? I got assaulted. Go watch
Right.
the cameras.
You called us.
I didn't call you. I got assaulted. I called my mama. My phone is still at the gas station. What do you mean?
You're not understanding.
You not understand what I'm saying? I got assaulted and
He bailed
out.
out on the street over,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You chose to take the car and go.
And take off to my mother's
Okay.
house.
All right. She's a victim of the initial attack.
What you mean? Y'all got me in handcuffs and I got assaulted.
Hey, from the female victim is in the vehicle. She was the driver that took the car after you.
I just got stumped out. Go watch the cameras.
I was going to watch the cameras. Go
Go get my phone.
I ain't going to get nothing.
Come on.
I ain't going to get nothing. So we're going to take the car.
That's fine.
We'll take
Can y'all
you-
call my mama?
let's-
Can you call my mama, please?
Right,
I had
so
no
when we
phone
get
at the
back-
gas station.
It's closer to call her from the station because it's right down the road. So we'll take you to the station, call your mom, you grab your phone from the gas station and go back to where
Y'all take me to go get my phone?
Yes, we're taking you back to
Okay.
the station. It's across the street.
That's fine. I used to shoot too.
Where are your shoes at?
They in the car. I got to. They probably at the gas station. I got to beat them. So I don't know.
All right, turn around. I'll switch you over. No, so I'll just take her to the station, have her mom pick her up.
Water.
All right, I'll put you in that car so you don't gotta stand around. All right. Yeah, more paperwork. Sorry.
You taking her?
Don't worry about her. Just worry about yourself right now.
I did what I did.
You could just talk to us
I'm
instead.
about to die, man. I can't breathe, man. I'm about to pass up.
Oh, you're fine.
Man, I swear to God.
Yeah, I'll crack the window for you.
Let's try and pull a George Floyd.
No, man.
The suspect, 33-year-old Antonio Burton, was charged with multiple felonies, including kidnapping, assault with intent to murder, felonious assault, and fleeing and eluding, as well as a misdemeanor charge for damage to property. He ultimately pled guilty to felony fleeing and eluding and was sentenced to a maximum of 4 years at Central Michigan
Damn, he beat all those cases.
Correctional Facility. His maximum release date is January 2030, when he will be 39 years old.
Damn.
Parked over there, and I saw the
Sits over the color.
The couple pulled in, and then it was a young man, African American, with a girl, very tall, skinny. I thought they were going in. I was driving by. The next thing is I drove by again because I was gonna leave, and I saw the car accident. And I was like,
Did they pull up in this car?
I'm not sure if it's this car or not, but it was right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
This isn't her baby?
No. I was the one who called.
Did you just drive by and saw this?
Yeah. I was driving. I was parked, and I was driving by, and I saw he was sitting there.
Did you see
I
the
don't have any
parents?
baby. Yeah, there was African American.
And they both walked away?
They had a car, so I'm assuming they drove away.
Okay.
Just left the baby.
Is the baby okay? Is
Yeah,
he...
she's okay. She was crying, and I
Okay.
just picked her up, just lullaby her. So.
Approximately maybe 2 to 3 week old baby was left unattended in a stroller in the parking lot. Probably gonna have to get CID involved. So I'm just trying to be clear. You were parked.
Yeah.
Did you see someone with the baby?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
Two.
Two of them. Yeah.
A mom and a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Were they arguing?
No. They were just
Okay.
putting the baby in, and I went around and I came back and I was leaving, and I saw the baby. The baby was crying. I had my windows up.
And then you no longer saw the parents? Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like she saw them putting the baby in the stroller, and she like kind of looped the parking lot, and
Yeah,
then all of a
just
sudden
to
they were
see.
just gone. She
Yeah.
doesn't. She doesn't remember seeing if they got in a car
wrong,
or
so
what.
That's why I went around. I had to
Okay.
know something was wrong with them.
So I've heard of bringing a baby to like a fire department. There's sometimes even like a designated safe.
Never mind, bro. This motherfucker talk a lot in this. Yeah, no, bro. I didn't even see him on there. My bad. goodness. Son flees after shooting down a shotgun. That's crazy.
That there were signs of forced entry, and there were 32s missing from the closet, with shots fired in the area.
571, hold my current traffic, I'll be in route. 601 garage door just open, vehicle started in the garage. Hey, please stop! 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 Edward Boy, 20606, 20606. Stop! Hey, it's a 4-screen Bronco on Clat towards Mitchell, just took off. 10-4, I'm right behind it.
Going to a silent open line.
Police department.
Damn, that's crazy, Wisconsin. Prayers out, man. Hope you guys are doing good in the chat, man. Much love. Make sure you guys double tap screen. I don't know, algorithm's not hitting today, but that's fine, man. Another day's gonna, bless us. But much love, man. We're on the road to 20K. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe.
Hello, Plano Police. Police department. If you're in here, make yourself known. Plano Police. If I can get one more to the house over here. All right, now we're going eastbound on Route 34. We got a Kendall unit here with me too.
So you got a shattered window? Let me glove up real quick.
Police department.
Please, sir, you're in here, make yourself known.
Plano Police. I'm gonna push this way here. Open bathroom door. Nothing.
Open that real quick.
Yep. 60 miles an hour, free flow traffic.
Driver, stop. I don't see anybody else in the car.
You're doing good. Just keep breathing and keep following.
Please, make yourself known. You're in here, make yourself known.
Plano Police.
Hey, got one down right here. One down. He's down on the ground. Hello, sir.
Sir. 571, still eastbound, passing Cannonball now. He's stopping.
Drive, car continued.
9380, I got a man down. Is he shot?
Yep.
No, hang on. Kencom 721, we got a male down, gunshot wound. Roll medics in the house, please.
Nothing. You got a tourniquet? Yeah. I got one on me. 6-1 male with a probable gunshot wound, starting CPR. Oh, all right.
Go ahead.
I just hope that I don't ever make my kids one day mad enough to kill me, man. That's all I gotta say, man. That shit's crazy.
No, I couldn't hear it.
Alright, somebody shot back at the house, so just be mindful. Only that guy steps out. Everyone's gone out, okay?
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
He's got additional blood coming out. Hey, let's get his shirt off.
Yep.
Shirt off.
You got one in the neck?
Yes, right through the, hey, it's right here, dude. And I think he's shot in the face.
To the face?
One here, one in the shoulder, trap right there. Is it coming out the armpit?
You got no gloves, baby?
We got nothing, dude. I got no pulse.
Unit C5 vehicle is 55 miles per hour, so this would be RBC.
611 just passed Bristol Ridge Road. Bristol Ridge Road.
That's just past Bristol Ridge. Planning in Stewart County to take over the pursuit. 611 copy. 611
Are you good with that position, Savela?
Good with that position.
Yeah, are we clearing or are we still following from a distance?
Following behind.
We're going to have blocked off. You guys, Orchard and 34, the place going to make it through the intersection. On 34 and Orchard, Seneca is going to make it through. Check 731. We're going to be eastbound Washington. 34 eastbound 571.
traffic moderate, speed 20 miles an hour. Come up to the intersection of Madison now.
Pickup 731, speed at 30 miles per hour. We got no traffic in the northbound lane. Pickup 731, we are going to the eastbound.
Hey, upstairs, second floor. Yep, upstairs, second floor in the lock.
Tourniquet on the left arm, looks like you got shot in the face.
He's got one all on his shoulder, he's got one up in the trap up here, and he's got one on the face, and one in the neck right here. I was looking to see if they had a basement or a crawl space or something. Hey, that Bronco that pulled out, that's a stolen vehicle, because his keys are all lined up right there.
Speed past the chain about 50 miles per hour.
Alright.
Plano is still behind county for the pursuit.
I've been approaching routes and that's affirmative on East County trying to set us. Alright, so he just wrecked the vehicle. Looks like he's going to be going on the raised median of Ridge. I got 731 back on the road eastbound. Per hour.
Do we know what kind of gun it was?
I have no idea, but that's an exit right there into the wall. The one in his neck by the collarbone looks like a small caliber, unless that's just a puncture wound. He's got one in the trap that looked like an entrance wound, and maybe it came out through the shoulder. I don't know if that's ricochet or what.
And there's also one by his trap.
Is that shrapnel in his face?
That looks like a shotgun.
We're approaching Eola. He's got nowhere to go with vehicles. Nowhere to go with vehicles. We're entering the parking lot of the BT gas station off the Eola Road. We're going to be cutting through Eola. Parking lot of BT cutting through Eola. You get clarification from Plano PD where they're at in pursuit. If they're willing to take over. 571, are you willing to take over pursuit?
That's affirmative. We can do that.
Surveillance, step up. I'm going to call out traffic. Okay? 10-4.
Kincom 571. We got 611 as primary. We are going to be turning northbound back onto Eola. Northbound back onto Eola.
Letting us get by the
611, we came to a stop here at the intersection of Eola and I don't know the intersection here.
And there's cars coming down the road, bro. What if a bullet missed and hit? Oh my god, dude. He came out of that car just blasting. That is wild. What?
Shots fired! Shots fired! Don't move! Don't move! He's got a shield! He's got a shield! Shielding!
Don't move! Don't move! See, I always say it, dude. I hate when these cops, like, overdo some of these situations. Like, always want to do the most. Look for shield, look for shield. Bro, you just smoked his ass. He's on the ground. And you can see if he's moving for it or not. Just run up to him and get him, bro. Like, what? He's got shot, like, how many times?
I'll get a shield!
571, 611, I need status.
We're 10-4, hold the traffic.
10-4, holding traffic, emergency radio traffic only. Emergency traffic only.
Hey, you good?
Yeah, I got it on my...
571, we got one detained. Car is clear.
Car's clear.
Hey, did you shoot? Alright, come over here.
What do you need? Sure.
Take this off. Watch his head. Chris, I'm gonna let you take over since you're med-surg. Yeah, he pointed that shotgun at me. I thought I was gone, dude. All right. That shotgun at me. I thought I was gone. Yeah, man. All right.
Deep breath, bro. You good?
I had like 3 or 4 rounds shot off. I thought I was dead. Yeah. 80.
I got it.
911 caller who initially reported the incident was actually the next-door neighbor. She immediately called after hearing a man yell and then a loud bang. When officers arrived, they found the victim unresponsive, and he was eventually pronounced deceased. After the suspect was shot by officers, he was provided life-saving measures, but was later pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect was later identified as the victim's own son, 36-year-old Nicholas Novak. The investigation revealed a history of conflict between Nicholas and his 70-year-old father, including mental health issues, a drinking problem, and a criminal history. Just a week before the incident in the body cam footage, Nicholas called his father, saying, quote, "I hate you, Dad. I wish he was dead," and like that. Nicholas was found to be in possession of a rifle and 2 revolvers, all of which belonged to his father. All 3 of those firearms were recovered and eventually released to Nicholas's uncle, the brother of the victim.
Damn, imagine you get that firearm that killed your brother and has all that.
Sir, what are you doing?
He's trying to get me, man.
Relax.
I'm right here.
Stand on the side. Stand on the side.
I want to chill, man.
Okay, I'm sure.
Man, they trying to come through the bushes, running into everybody.
All right, relax.
All right, before we get into the last video we're going to watch, give me 1 second. Gotta grab something. Oh, sorry, Zeus. I know it's not this one. This one just came up automatically.
I'm running an experiment that might seem pointless, testing whether Walmart really has the lowest prices. It's economics 101, right? Economies of scale, bulk purchasing.
The Walmart phenomenon, scale of production, speed of delivery, and all of these things that drive down price.
So I went around to different grocery stores in Western Wisconsin. And on the surface, I found what you'd expect. But I got a tip that something else might be going on. So I talked with an independent grocer.
Back in the 90s, I could go toe-to-toe with Walmart's everyday low price. Today, it's not even close.
That's when this went from a curiosity to an investigation. And I found a lawsuit that the federal government filed against one of the largest food companies in the world. It was supposed to stay secret.
As a result of redacted, Pepsi created a plan, redacted. The plan advised that Pepsi redacted. The plan included redacted, redacted, redacted.
Inside, evidence that goes against every single economics textbook. Markets are supposed to drive prices down through competition. But what if the biggest player found a way to neutralize the competition without actually lowering their own prices? The case got buried in the swamps of Washington, but the system is still running, and you're paying for it. So how does it work?
My name is R.F. Bowie. I am a 4th-generation grocer. We have been around since 1905.
Today, RF operates a chain of independent grocery stores across South Dakota. I met him at the Pine Ridge location, the only full-service grocery store on the Oglala Sioux Indian Reservation. Can you give me an example of an item where you pay more at wholesale than Walmart's able to charge on the shelf?
Pepsi, 12 packs, for instance. My cost is $9, and Walmart's retail is $7.97.
Brutal. We drove to the nearest Walmart to check their prices, with what RF pays for 20 popular items. Heinz ketchup, Quaker oatmeal, paper towels.
I am fine going toe-to-toe with any grocer challenger. But right now I'm doing it with one arm tied behind my back.
The conventional wisdom is that Walmart's prices are lower because of scale and efficiency.
Well, to be honest, it's almost laughable to me.
Here's why RF is skeptical. Yes, Walmart is massive. They absolutely get volume discounts, but RF should too.
Most independents like myself buy from a wholesaler.
Wholesalers pool orders from hundreds of independent grocers and buy in bulk. And look, Walmart is so big that their volume discounts are still probably better. But should it be this much better?
The 18-ounce Cheerios that we talked about, Walmart sits on the shelf at $4.98, I believe. And our cost is $6.
We went to that Walmart today and it was actually lower. They have a markdown on it right now.
Oh, they do?
50-cent rollback. Independent grocers like RF have been trying to figure out why this is happening for years. It doesn't add up. they'd lose money on almost every sale if they matched Walmart's prices. Well, the answer is in these two documents that were recently unsealed after the government tried to bury them.
The evidence that's in there is explosive. I mean, it was beyond what I was expecting. It is a kind of conspiracy.
That's Stacy Mitchell, co-director of the Institute for Local Self-Reliance. Her organization fought to unseal those documents, and it wasn't supposed to happen. Just days before President Trump took office, under Lina Khan, the Federal Trade Commission filed a complaint against PepsiCo and a major retailer. But when it was made public, here's what we got.
Pepsi believed that redacted. Pepsi characterized redacted. As a result of redacted, Pepsi created a plan, redacted. The plan advised that Pepsi redacted. The plan included redacted, redacted, redacted. For example, redacted, redacted.
Nothing, just black boxes. Now, redaction is normal in cases like this. At first, there's a process to decide what goes public. The FTC argues for transparency, a company argues for secrecy. A judge decides.
What typically happens in antitrust cases is that almost everything is unsealed.
But one day before Pepsi had to defend those redactions in open court, the Trump administration made a decision.
The Federal Trade Commission moving to drop a case against PepsiCo.
It was convenient timing.
It's just going to apparently remain blacked out forever.
Enter Catherine Van Dyke, a former legal advisor to the FTC.
This complaint didn't come out of thin air. It was the result of a years-long investigation. There is a First Amendment right to access court documents.
Alongside Stacy's organization, Catherine petitioned the court to unseal the document.
Pepsi had to prove to the court that they should remain unavailable to the public.
They didn't. So here's what was under those black boxes. According to the complaint, the big retailer, Walmart, Pepsi set up a sophisticated surveillance system.
Pepsi monitored the retail sales of all of Walmart's competitors across the United States. And it monitored those sales for two things.
The first, leakage,
which was simply customers going to a store other than Walmart to buy Pepsi.
The second, price gaps, the gap between Walmart's prices and competitors.
Pepsi's goal was to make sure that the price gap between Walmart and its competitors never went below a certain level, and to ensure that Walmart always had the lowest price.
And when this system found one grocery chain beating Walmart's prices, Walmart didn't lower their prices to compete. Instead, Pepsi sprang into action.
Pepsi detects that Food Lion is actually selling its beverages for less than Walmart. And in their internal documents, they describe Food Lion as the, quote, worst offender for selling Pepsi products for less.
Food Lion is a regional supermarket chain with nearly 1,000 stores across the Southeast. According to the complaint, Pepsi developed a multi-year plan to force Food Lion to raise its prices. First, cut Food Lion's promotional money, the discounts that let them run sales. Second, raise Food Lion's wholesale cost.
This is Pepsi taking deliberate steps to force Food Lion to raise its prices.
Why would Pepsi do this? We can only guess. But Walmart is their biggest customer, by far.
Pepsi has told the SEC in its 10-K that losing Walmart as a customer would have a materially adverse effect on Pepsi's business.
But that's like, you know, how it is in the streets too, man. Your regular customers might get, you know, a gram for 10 or, you know, whatever, allegedly, you know, 3.5 for, you know, 20. But other people, more, right?
Because it accounts for such a large percentage of Pepsi's sales.
That's true for most companies.
It's hard to imagine that Pepsi is the
all
only
these
major
people
supplier
are, bro.
that
Like,
Walmart
they're
has this
just
arrangement with.
wheeling and dealing Pepsi, you know? Just kidding.
Walmart does almost always have the lowest price because it is involved in these sorts of schemes. But in reality, all that's doing is setting a price floor. It's not lowering prices for consumers.
Which could help explain why prices aren't going down. They're just stuck at the price floor. It's a Walmart tax on the country.
The more special deals that Walmart gets, the more that other retailers have to pay. The shopper is going to those other stores, say, I can't afford this. They move to Walmart. Walmart's power grows. This one company captures $1 out of every $4 that Americans spend on groceries. And there are over 60 metro areas where Walmart captures half or more of all grocery spending.
I can't believe that is happening. I just can't. I know it, but it's just hard to imagine that this is the country we're living in.
Now, if you're wondering, how can this be legal? It's not. There's a law designed to stop these kind of schemes. It's called the Robinson-Patman Act.
It makes it illegal for a retailer to go to a supplier and say, you're going to give us special favors, special prices, and you're going to charge our smaller competitors down the street higher prices.
So why is this happening? Because in the 1980s, the federal government stopped enforcing it.
There was this idea that allowing bigger retailers to use their leverage over suppliers would result in lower prices for consumers. And today we're like surrounded by evidence that that was a complete mistake.
And now we're living with the results. A grocery market where businesses that try to lower prices are being stopped by their biggest competitor. We reached out to Walmart. No response. We reached out to Pepsi. They did respond. Basically, this complaint had no merit, and the new FTC agrees with us. They voluntarily dismissed it. We then reached out to the FTC because Pepsi is kind of just restating what the FTC said. More perfect union, never heard back. But America did hear from the president.
Prices are coming down very substantially on groceries and things. They're already at a much lower level than they were with the last administration.
Here's grocery price inflation since this case was filed. The Trump administration killed a case that had a real mechanism for bringing prices down. Don't take my word for it. 6 Republican senators just sent a letter asking Trump's FTC to enforce the law his administration just refused to enforce.
When President Trump was sworn in, he used his power under the FTC Act to appoint Andrew Ferguson as chair. Then, a few months later, he fired the 2 Democratic commissioners without cause.
The FTC is supposed to have 5 commissioners. Trump hasn't replaced either Democratic commissioner or one Republican who left. So it's down to 2.
When we don't have a full body, this is what happens.
Back in South Dakota, RF and consumers are living with what happened.
You know, I eat, sleep, and breathe this business. Having to give up on your employees, your team, having to give up to your community, I often relate it back to like going through a divorce.
Like a lot of independent grocers, RF recently closed stores, unable to compete on price.
I would like to think if the Robinson-Patman Act was being enforced, that those store closures would have probably been different.
If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, man, that was
and if you're a
that was a good video. I'm not
interested
surprised,
in
bro.
similar.
You know, these big corporations want to be the biggest forever, you know? Like when Facebook bought Instagram, like, you know, or like, you know, these other people just want to always be at the top, and especially in the food industry or like the grocery industry. I mean, yeah, it's all who you know or what kind of deals can you make, and I don't know, pretty crazy. Not surprised though. They've been saying that they'll always have low prices for a long time. They're speaking into existence. They're probably sacrificing the ball to get this done, you know, allegedly. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Should we watch one more? Nah, I gotta get off. Man, I appreciate you guys for being here. Wisconsin, thanks for the banger video. I appreciate you. It's a dope video, bro. I mean, like I said, I'm not surprised. Walmart's huge. I mean, there's a Walmart everywhere. You know. But I appreciate you guys for being here, man. God bless you guys. Stacy, thank you for all the gifts today, man. You sent like 6 gifts, and I know it cost you a little bit. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Wisconsin, thank you for being here as well. Everybody else, man. Skippy, you weren't here again today. I'm going to have to whoop that booty. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody else who was in here, I was trying to look for other names, but they all kind of left, so they don't get a shout out. Fuck it. Much love, man. I'll be back on tomorrow though, for sure. For sure, Ski, okay?